Oh, good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining us here on Oxford TV as we welcome you to a sunny Sandy Lane this afternoon at Bet Goodwin Oxford Stadium, where we've got the WSRA National League action this afternoon as the Oxford Chargers, unbeaten so far, take on the Edinburgh Academy side, unbeaten so far. So two teams, only raced a few meetings between them, but they're both in good form. They've both got riders that are riding in the National Trophy and in the Championship. So all their riders, even though they might not have been on track so much, they've had track experience. So we're lined up for a really, really good meeting this afternoon. The guys are out doing some track prep now, and as you would expect for this, the track is prepared slightly differently than it would be for the Premiership or the Championship. So there potentially isn't as much shale on there as there normally is, but as we look down, there's certainly some material on the surface, and their starts will be pretty grippy as well, I would imagine. So it'll be comfortable for the riders to race, but it is a warm afternoon, but we had plenty of rain yesterday afternoon which managed to get into the surface, so hopefully that will help to keep the dust down this afternoon. But it's warm and it's windy, but it's a pleasant afternoon ready for Speedway. Let's take a walk into the pits. We'll see if we can catch up with the two team managers, Peter Schroeck for the home side and Scott Wilson for the away side. I can see Peter here, so we'll grab a quick word with Peter first. Peter, am I okay to grab you for 2 minutes, my fine fellow? Chargers action this afternoon. Only the one meeting so far for these boys, but it was a win and it was a good start.
Yeah, very good start, you know, but it's a little bit different this year because obviously we're quite lucky to have the National League trophy as well. So the boys are all racing and one thing and another, so they're quite sharp. So hopefully, you know, the little gap in between didn't damage it too much, and they keep the momentum going, and hopefully, get another win today. Yeah,
and we've got obviously Darryl has signed for Paul, Darryl RITCHINGS has signed for Paul, and Jody's gone to Redcar. So for those two guys, that's really uplifting, isn't it?
Yeah, it seems to be working what we're doing here, you know, sort of thing. And I've said it for all along, you know, we're not just doing it for our selfish reasons. You know, people who know myself, Jamie, and you know, we're doing it for Speedway, you know, and so obviously it always hurts when you lose riders going to different teams, but if it's for the better for the sport, you know, why not? And I'm really, really pleased for both of them, you know, especially, you know, Daryl just coming back after so many years, and he gets the call up for Poole, and you know, Jody thoroughly deserves it. He worked really hard in the winter and one thing and another, so for him to have the opportunity as well, yeah. Why not?
Yeah, absolutely. And you want to see the boys win, of course you do. But I've read your programme notes for the meeting we had previously and this one, and you outline each time, no pressure, just go out and enjoy, race and learn.
Yeah, I mean, you know, this is where you learn your craft, don't you? Because hopefully, this is where you can, you know, when you do your apprenticeship properly, when you get to the Championship and the Premiership. Sometimes even in there, I have to sort of make people realise what they're actually doing it for, you know, and if you do it for the wrong reasons, you can drift away from it very quickly. So, you know, we're trying to teach the boys the right way of come here, enjoy their racing, because hopefully they take that on into the future, and it's something they can pull themselves back onto when things don't go that well.
Yeah, 100%. And I think what's really noticeable this year is Luke Killeen's a great example. Like, he, at this level last year, was almost unbeatable. He was fantastic pretty much everywhere he went. You step up into Championship, and of course he's a big step into Premiership. It's really tough when you get up there, isn't it?
It's very tough, mentally. You know, mentally it's tough. So, because this is what I'm trying to say, you know, is... You know, I still have to pull him back, you know, sometimes say, like, look, just go back to the basics, what you're actually doing it for, and don't get... It's very easy when you're in team sport to get drawn into this negativity, you know, sort of thing. And when things don't go that well, you know, it's tough, you know, but he's very lucky. He's got the Championship in between where we've been doing quite well. He's been struggling in the top league like some of the other boys did, you know, and it's a knock-on effect. So it is difficult, but, you know, he'll fight through it. He's a great little racer, you know, and sometimes, you know, I think some of these boys could still do with a few meetings in the National League because it gives you that confidence winning races.
Yeah, and I do think that.
Yeah, no, 100%, you know, so, and I'm trying to keep him in there as long as you can, you know, but sometimes the rule don't allow it. But I think for the sake of Speedway, again, maybe we need to look at that, you know, because we can ruin riders which come on pretty quickly, very quickly as well. So you have to nurture it for the long run. So, but that's probably for the hierarchies to decide, not me.
And it's a fine line between holding them back when they want to get going and they want to step up the division, leave this behind. It's hard sometimes because you don't want to knock them, do you? But, you know, reality checker, this helps at this level.
Yeah, it's very difficult, you know, because you sort of try and give them the encouragement, obviously, you know, and they deserve it. But again, is when you take riders like that on in that position, you've got to be responsible for it as well. You can't just give him like 4 or 5 meetings and thinking, he's not going to make it, drop him back down. And this is what's been happening over the years. We lost a lot of good riders over that. Unfortunately, in a team, you can't just have 12, 15-point riders. You need those riders who can score 4 or 5 points as well. And if you nurture them, they score 4 or 5 points for a long, long time. And that way, you'll always can build your team to a decent number.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for your time. Terrific afternoon.
Cheers.
Good luck.
Cheers, buddy. Thank you.
Top man, brilliant. Right, we'll wander up. I think I see Scott, the away team manager for Edinburgh. Let's head up. Swindon Speedway coach in the pits this afternoon. Hello, Craig. Lovely. I can see Scott here just having a chat with a couple of people, so we'll get his view on it. They've got a couple of rider changes this afternoon, Edinburgh, so I'll just see if I can pick up on that with Scott. There's Mr. Bert Harkins. Hello, Bert. Please head through. Scott, can I grab you for 2 seconds, Oxford TV? Yeah. Sorry, guys. How you doing? Okay?
Yeah, very well, mate. And yourself?
Yeah, okay. Drive down today?
We came down most of the way last night because the Monarchs were at Workington yesterday. Yeah. So, yeah, we came as far as Coventry last night and just a little short trip down this morning. Yeah,
and I've just said the same thing to Peter. It's still early days, but a couple of meetings and a couple of wins.
Yeah, been a great start. When the fixtures came out, we had the 2 at home, which we obviously had marked down for 2 wins, and we've done that. So, first one on the road today. Unfortunately, we're a little bit undermanned, just with some injuries and illness, but we're still here to give it a good crack and see if we can make it 3 out of 3.
Yeah, good man. Could you just talk us through those changes to your side?
Yeah, of course. So Kieran Lydon had a crash in our home meeting against Bellevue, and he's actually got a fracture in his back, so he'll be out for quite a period of time. So we've got Ryan Ingram stepping in for him. Matt Marsden unfortunately has come down with food poisoning overnight, so we've run RR for him. Tried to get some guests in, but at last minute it's so difficult. And Sam McGurk has got a shoulder problem. He's got a displaced shoulder blade. So we've got Mickie SIMPSON stepping in for him. So yeah, I think coming here with a full strength side, I fancied us to really run Oxford close. So we are a little bit undermanned, but the team talk to the guys will be that we're still here to try and win. We're not here to make up the numbers. We want to come down and, as I say, make it 3 out of 3.
And Mickie SIMPSON, Mickey's ridden here a few times. I've seen him here a couple of times. He rides his track quite well.
Yeah, he does. Mickie can kind of turn his hand to anything, to be honest. And he started the season well. He's had some good scores for the Steelers. So, and he's obviously, I've worked with him before, so I know that one thing you always get with Mickie is 100% effort, and that's all I can ask of these guys. So yeah, delighted to have him with us today.
Brilliant. Well, good luck and have a great afternoon.
Superb. Cheers, Lee.
Top man. Cheers, Scott. Top man. Brilliant. We'll see if we can grab a word with a couple of riders. Let's just duck into the little cubby and we'll just grab a quick word with Dayle WOOD. Dayle, can I lean over the rail and get you for 2 seconds? 2 meetings, 2 wins so far. Good start.
Yeah, it's a good start for the boys. Good for our confidence and all that sort of stuff as well. Hopefully today's another one of those days and, yeah, go from there.
How many visits have you had here personally?
I think I've been here probably twice. I haven't done real well here, but today's a new day, so we'll go.
Is that at this level or at Championship?
I think I've done one of each here over the years, so yeah, we'll see how we go today.
But you started the season at this level on fire. You're scoring big points, and to be honest, I think I looked at it and you've won quite a few Heat 2s for Berwick as well. So you're riding well.
Yeah, I've started the season pretty well. I think obviously at this level I'm at the top end of the game, which where I wanted to be, and Armadale's probably a track that I like. So, yeah, Berwick, it's a bit of a daunting track, so just get out the start and go for it, and yeah, win a couple of heats there. But yeah, more to come.
Top man, well, good luck this afternoon.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers, Dayle. Thank you for that, buddy. Yeah, a rider that's riding really well. I think I looked at his stats for Berwick. He's riding. They've only had 2 meetings, obviously, for the academy, and he scored some big points, won a lot of races. But he's won quite a few of the Heat 2s, and that's a big ask at that reserve level, Championship level, to win that Heat 2. It just lays down a marker and it starts you off on a really good footing if you can do that. Let's just see if I can grab a quick word with Jody. Can I steal Jody for 2 seconds? Hey Jody, Oxford TV, how are you, mate?
Yeah, good, you?
Yeah, really good start to the season, mate.
Yeah, it's been a good start, well, for all my teams really, for the Chargers getting our first win here against Middlesbrough, and obviously I'm riding for Kings Lynn and the Young Stars, and we've won all our meetings so far, so yeah, it's been a good start.
And let's talk under 21s up at Glasgow. You did phenomenally well. I think you surprised a lot of people. I don't think you surprised us because we've seen you riding more than a lot of people. But I think that was a real eye-opener for a few people that at that level, you're there or thereabouts at the minute.
Yeah, it was a brilliant start. Getting 3 wins out of 3 in my first few rides, and just getting the bike dialed into the track. Obviously, I haven't been going really well around there, so the times I've been there in the past, but that last week was a real eye-opener for me.
Did you expect to do so well?
Well, not really. Obviously, I go there and obviously I want to win, but obviously after those 3 rides, I was like, well, I could do something here. So I just kept my head down, just kept focused, and got to the semi-final and made a mistake in the semi-final. Maybe should have chose a different game, but that's how we learn, and just keep moving on. Yeah,
because I was watching on BSN. Obviously, I had a foot in all the Oxford boys camps, and it's a difficult one because you did so well and you absolutely walk away from that with your head held high. There's a little bit of disappointment as well in there that you didn't get into that final.
Yeah, so it was gutting to not get in the final, but I've got another 3 years in it to hopefully get that under-21 championship. And yes, like I said last week, was just an experience again, just learning and just riding with those big boys again, and getting what 11 points I got or something like that. So yeah, it's a good start to the season.
Yeah, it's good, Jody. And just at this level, obviously, there's been a few rider changes. Luke's moved up and out, so you've obviously taken on that kind of mantle as the number 1 and the skipper. Do you feel the pressure, or do you just jump on and ride?
I just jump on and ride, just keep my head down, and just obviously go out and make sure the boys are all doing okay. And being a captain for both of my teams, for Killeen and Oxford, it's a new challenge, but something I've accepted. And being number 1 for both of them, it's like I said, a good experience. And just keep moving on.
Top man, we'll have a good afternoon, score big, and let's get a win.
Thank you, mate.
Top man, well done, Jody. Awesome. So that's the views, both sides of the pits, a couple of riders, both the team managers. I love this level of speedway, because everyone just wants to go on and ride their bikes. There's not as much pressure riding here as there is as you move up into the championship and the premiership, so you can feel that in the pits as well. So we're all set for a cracking meeting. Heat 1's not far away. Yeah, Heat 1 isn't far away, and I'm delighted to say I've been joined in the comms by Luke Killeen. Luke, how are you, buddy?
Not bad, thanks. How are you?
Good to see you again. You must have enjoyed it last time because you're back.
Good to be back. Yeah,
good to be back.
By popular demand, I believe.
Popular demand. And we've got the Chargers, we've got EDINBURGH Academy. It's a beautiful day here today. The sun's out. It's a little bit of cloud, but I think the wind is whipping over the circuit. So Jamie's been out getting plenty of water into that track today. But it's a warm, windy day. But conditions are brilliant, mate, for Speedway.
Yeah, it's a nice sunny day. Good to see that for a change. No, it's been good lately. But yeah, no, definitely a lot of moisture in the surface here, as we can see, and it should make for some great racing. Yeah, he's really worked hard. Like, they had a lot of rain here yesterday afternoon.
But let's have while we've got it, let's have a quick look at the table. It's still early days, but Edinburgh two meetings, 2 wins. They're sat on the top, and even though Oxford are one off the bottom, 1 race, 1 win, so both sides are looking good, and we'll have a lot of confidence coming into today.
Yeah, that's it. It's definitely going to be a tough meeting, I'd say. Most of the boys who are out there for Edinburgh have been here before, so it definitely should be some tight racing.
Yeah, they've got a couple of rider changes. Let's go straight into the home side. We'll go top to bottom here. Jody SCOTT in at number 1, had a good under-21 GB meeting up at Glasgow recently. Number 2, Jacob Clouting, scored well in the first meeting here. Arran BUTCHER, he'll be looking for a better return than he had in his first meeting here, but he's looking good, Arran. Ashton VALE at number 4, a couple of years here now, Ashton. Darryl RITCHINGS at 5, as we mentioned, just signed for Paul in the championship. Max Broadhurst, he's been getting plenty of track time in the National Trophy as well. And then at number 7 is Senna SUMMERS, who again was in that under-21 meeting along with yourself, but didn't feel 100%, so probably didn't do as well as he would have liked. And obviously Peter, the man at the helm, runs all 3 sides. We spoke to us, called up with Peter earlier on. And for the away side, a couple of rider changes for them today. Connor Coles, a man who seems to have been around forever, but his family name certainly has. He's at 1. Ryan Ingram, he comes in at number 2. He comes in for Kieran Lydon, who we wish all the best to. He's been nasty accident. So he's not in at 2. There's a rider replacement at number 3. That's for Matt Marsden, who's fallen ill overnight. Mickie SIMPSON, another rider change. He's in for Sam McGurk, who's got a shoulder problem. Mickie rides his track very well. Dayle WOOD, a man who's really riding well at this level. Is also riding for Berwick, as we spoke to earlier on in the championship. And then we've got Mark Parker at 6, and we've got Lee Harrison at 7. Scott Wilson, we spoke to him earlier. Best sunglasses in this, apart from yours, Luke, of course. Best sunglasses at his level. But they've got a couple of rider changes. That might hamper them a tiny bit.
Yeah, possibly. They won't be able to gel exactly the same as they would when they've got the full lineup. But no, I'd say there's definitely some solid guests in there, so it should be good.
Yeah, Mickie rides his place very well, and I've seen him come from the back here as well. So I think that's a good rider to bring in. And for me personally, the likes of Mark Parker and Lee Harrison, they're new names. I don't think I've seen them here at Oxford, so it'd be interesting to see how they go on a track that might not be that familiar to them.
Yeah, it's. I think Lee had a go here last year at the under-19 final, and he went all right from what I remember. So I think most of them been around here, so we should it should make for a good heat too.
And like I say it all the time whenever I'm here, we are Oxford TV, we want to see an Oxford win, but we just want to see good racing. We just want to see some close action, and Oxford coming out the back end with a win. I would like to see that. But no, it's good for what's going on? No, it's good to just keep the fans entertained with some tight racing and a tight scoreline, but hopefully Oxford take the top. Top man, I was just listening in there trying to get, and I think the toss was won by the home side, but I think Jody deferred to heat 15, and I think it was 1 and 3 for Connor Coles took 1 and 3 in heat number 1 for Edinburgh. So I think that's the way that they've gone. And again, I say it all the time here, the gates do even out as the meeting starts, but would you have gone for 1 and 3 if you'd have had to pick today, Luke?
Last year I'd usually go 2 and 4 because that leaves heat 13 for gates 1 and 3, which usually gate 4 will go off as the meeting goes on. So no, we'll have to wait and see. Maybe that'll be an advantage for the Oxford. I don't think I've been here where there isn't a win off of every gate, whether it's from the tapes or someone working their way from the back. So I think they do even out, and it does seem to change here as the meeting ticks by. We'll look at the stats halfway through, and then by the end of the meeting, they're almost completely different. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, definitely. Some of the gates definitely start stronger off in the meeting, but whether that's the riders or maybe that's just the gates themselves, but it definitely evens out, like you said, across the meeting. Ryan Ingram in at number 2 for them. That's a completely new name to me. He's only 15. He's in with Leicester and Plymouth this year, so he's got a couple of sides at the National League level. Is that a rider that you know anything about, Lou? I have seen a bit about him. I believe he hangs out with the Thompson twins a fair bit. So, he's always on a bike of some sort, of what I've seen. But no, I think last year we tried to get him in as a guest and he was still too young to even race for the Chargers. So, no, hopefully back then he looked good. Maybe he'll be even better now. Yeah, and do you know what? I love it when we get the riders here at this level that I've not seen before, because it's just great to see young kids coming in and you want to see everybody do well, don't you? You want to see everyone grow in confidence and, ultimately start to get on that ladder to get up towards the championship. Yeah, that's it. This is definitely the stepping stone towards professional racing, let's say. But no, it's good that, they can start at 15 years old in this league and, it's definitely just a confidence booster. Yeah, absolutely. Right, so they've introed the 2 sets of teams to the crowd. And again, it's a good crowd in here this afternoon. It's, we've got the 3 sides running here. So we would expect a really solid crowd for the Premiership and the Championship, because we're running Sunday afternoon Speedway. If there's nothing else going on for people on a Sunday, they are supporting. And what you can't see on the TV screens is the bar downstairs underneath us is pretty busy. So there's a lot of people there that are in that bar area. So the riders here, they'll get to put in a couple of practice starts and just get a little bit of a feel for the circuit. They can't race in anger, but they can definitely put in a couple of laps. And again, we've said it before, it's just an opportunity to make a couple of starts and go in and make a couple of last-minute adjustments. Yeah, that's it too. It saves you trying to adjust the chain on the track. When you don't get the chance to have a practice start on parade, sometimes you go out for your first heat, you do a start, you have the back chain checked to make sure it's not gone tight or loose, and then that costs you time gardening at the start line. So. And you almost want every rider to hit the ground. I know you want to keep a home advantage as much as you can, but you want every rider to hit the ground running, so we get fantastic racing from the word go. And so it almost surprises me that tracks still just do that parade lap where you can't wear your helmet, so you can't do a start. That still surprises me a bit. Yeah, we had that at Scunthorpe on Friday, it would have been. And yeah, no, it makes a slight difference. I don't know if it's to try and throw the away team off, or something like that. But yeah, they say, well, I'm led to believe you get a fine if you do a practice start without a helmet. Yeah, you do. I haven't tested and tried it. I'm not taking that risk. But no, I think it's good when tracks do let you go around with your helmet on and do a couple starts. I've championed it a few times, and anybody that listens to the stream regularly will be hearing the same thing again. But I almost think it would be good to give everybody 2 laps
Give every rider 2 solid laps. So the 2 number 1s go out together, 2 laps. The number 2s, the 3. So that everybody gets a feel for the track. So that when you're out for Heat 1, boom, you're off and running. From a rider perspective, would that be something you'd like?
I think that'd be a good idea. I know out in Poland, they have, before each meeting, they pick 2 numbers. So say, I don't know, 3 and 4 from each team. And then they get 2... I think it's 2 2-minute sessions.
Okay.
So there's only 2 riders from each team, but they get to test the track, they get a feel, and maybe they can give some feedback to the rest of the boys.
And they can go back in and offer that to the other riders. Yeah, something like that. And again, for me personally, I just think it's something else for the supporters to watch while they're there for that afternoon and for that event. You see more track time, you see more of the boys on bikes. I don't know. I would just champion that kind of idea, really.
Yeah, more bang for your buck.
Absolutely right. So we are moments away. Paul Carrington, he's our referee this afternoon, and he's got Josh with him. Josh is here regularly. He's a trialist. No, he's not a trialist. What is he? He's an apprentice or something. Yeah. So he's learning the trade of referees. So he's here with Paul this afternoon. They've already got the 2 minutes on. The sun is beaming down on our 2-minute clock today, but it is a minute and a half. We're going to see Connor Coles come out against Jody SCOTT. They're the 2 number 1s for these sides. And again, Connor's a rider I know relatively well. His grandfather used to race with my dad at Exeter many years ago, Bob Coles, and then Michael Coles was obviously fantastic for Exeter. And he did ride north of the border quite a lot as well. So a real family tradition there with the Coleses. Must
be following in his father's footsteps, hey?
Yeah, literally. They're doing it. His grandfather to son to grandson. And Connor... He seems to have been around for a long time, Connor, but he, on his day, if he traps, he can get in amongst it.
Yeah, he's definitely quite a trapper as well. From what I remember last year racing against him, once he's out the gate, he's definitely hard to get around. So.
Yeah, he certainly is, and he quite likes this track. I've seen him here at National League and Championship level, and he will have good experience. So the riders are coming round to tapes for heat number 1. There is Connor. He's on screen at the moment. He's joined by Jacob. So we'll give you the full rundown on riders as they come up to tapes for heat number 1. 15 seconds. We haven't got long here. We are going to get those tapes up. Oxford Stadium, there, our sponsors of heat number 1. So it looks like it is 1 and 3 for the away side in heat number 1. Off the inside is Ryan Ingram. He will be in yellow. Off of gate 2 will be Jacob Clouting in blue. Gate 3 is Connor Coles in white for Edinburgh. And there we go, Jody SCOTT in red off of the outside. So Oxford Stadium, they sponsor heat number 1. It's WSRA National League meeting. 200 million teams. Tapes up on heat number 1, and they get into that first turn, and it is Jody SCOTT and Connor Coles, but Jacob Clouting up the inside. Nice line from Jody all the way round, but 2 going big into turns 3 and 4 for the first time. Jody SCOTT coming out in front, Connor Coles second, but Jacob's not a million miles away, Luke.
Yeah, no, he just got that elbow over Connor coming out that second bend, and Connor couldn't quite shut the line off, but no, there was a bit of close action between Jacob Clouting and Connor Coles coming out that 4th bend.
Yeah, it's just calmed down a little bit now with Jody SCOTT out the front. Connor Coles just getting in a bit of trouble, and that's going to give Jacob Clouting the opportunity to come up into second place. Big mistake for Connor Coles there, which has presented a 5-1 to the home side with a lap to go, and they'll gladly take that.
Yeah, definitely. It's it just shows maybe settling for second might have been the better play there, because maybe he was trying to get that extra bit of speed to catch Jody, and it's now backfired.
Yeah, really didn't need to push there. I don't think he was ever going to catch Jody SCOTT, so potentially could have just consolidated and held on to that second place, but unfortunately for Edinburgh, Connor didn't do that. Jody SCOTT was home and dry, and Jacob managed to get himself up into second place and join his teammate, and the home side will gladly take that 5-1 in heat number 1. But for the first lap there, it was some good racing.
Yeah, definitely a good run to that first bend between Connor and Jody, and it got a bit tight coming out the second bend even, but no, it was good.
Yeah, Jody with the win. Jacob Clouting got up into second place ahead of Connor Coles, and Ryan Ingram didn't look off the pace, learning as he's going here, so it was a 5-1 to the home side, and that's the perfect side for Peter Schroeck and the Chargers this afternoon. We'll move straight on to heat number 2. No hanging around. It's hard sometimes, stick or twist early on a track. You probably just want to take what's he was never going to catch Jody there, was he, Connor? So potentially could have just sat still and just hung on to that second.
Yeah, I think from a team perspective that could have been better. But sometimes when you're out there, all you want to do is win.
Yeah,
and I think,
true. Yeah, true.
If you can sort of, I'm still trying to learn to just sometimes settle for that second place, and it ends up being more beneficial.
When you're a racer, you're a racer.
Absolutely.
Right, here we go. Heat number 2, Keith Construction, the sponsors of Heat 2. Max Broadhurst, he's off the inside in red for the home side. Mark Parker, he's off gate number 2 in white for Edinburgh. Senna Summers, he will go off gate 3 in blue for Oxford, and it'll be Lee Harrison in yellow off of the outside. So heat number 2, 5-1 in the opener. Edinburgh will be looking to hit back here, but in Senna Summers they got a rider that knows this track incredibly well. Here we go, heat number 2. Marshall walks away, tapes go up, and it's a good gate from Mark Parker, but Senna Summers, he gets the drive up into that first turn, gets a nice line around the outside. We've got a bit of a battle here between Lee Harrison and Max Broadhurst. This looks like it could develop into 2 races, Luke.
Yeah, it's definitely 2 races in one here. Senna Summers just, got that drive out the second bend and starting to stretch a bit of a lead here. Ooh.
Yeah, Max has just done exactly the same as Connor Coles, unfortunately in red for the home side, and just dropped it. He's back up on the bike and he'll continue for the 4 laps. But let's talk Senna Summers. Made a good first 2 turns, got round the outside of Mark Parker, up into the front. Mark's sat up comfortably in second. Lee's been presented with that 3rd place now, and Max just hanging on in there for 4th to see if anything happens. But looking pretty home and dry for Senna, looking good.
Yeah, just trying to get... He's
done the same thing.
Yeah,
held on.
Just trying to get those steady laps in now. Maybe getting a little bit excited there, but no, he's held on for the win here. That's
good win for Senna Summers. Small moment there going off of turn 2 for the last time, but thankfully he didn't drop it. But all the boys seem to be getting in a bit of bother there coming off of 2.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems...
Is that just where they're pushing?
I mean, it seems that a few of the boys are gaining a bit too much grip sort of mid-corner, and maybe there's not quite enough out wide by those air fences to hold them up. So I'm not too sure, but yeah.
Thankfully, Senna didn't drop down there and he held on for those 3 points. Looked good until that point. Mark Parker in there for second. Teammate Lee Harrison joining him, so it's a 3-3 in that one. 8-4 the progressive score. And that just stops the flow of heat advantages here. We can see it from the tapes again. Just keep an eye on the middle 2, really. Senna Summers in blue, and they made great starts, both of those two, didn't they?
Yeah, again, it's a tight tussle into the first bend, but Senna just sort of a bit wider on that dirt and, a bit more drive out that second bend. Yeah,
and we couldn't quite, the camera couldn't pick up the 2 battles because there's already quite spread out. But Max managed to get the better of Lee Harrison into second place. But then just here, you can see him straighten up a couple of times, drags him out to the bag. And then once you're out there, you just got to concede sometimes, don't you?
Yeah, that's it. No, it's definitely better to lay it down a bit early rather than try and hold on and maybe end up a bit worse off.
Going big, yeah, that's right. So we've had a winner off of 4 and a winner off of 3, so the outside gates providing us with our heat winners so far. Paul Carrington, our referee, has got the 2 minutes on straight away. And the boys are around at tapes. For heat number 3, sponsored by Liquid Screed. Off the inside, big hitter for the away side, Dayle WOOD. He'll be in the white helmet colour. Ashton Vale in blue off of gate number 2. Guest Mickie SIMPSON in yellow, knows this track very well. He'll be off of gate number 3 in yellow. And Arran BUTCHER, he'll be in the red helmet colour off of gate number 4. 8-4 as we go into this heat. Arran Summers didn't perform as well as he would have liked in that opening meeting. He'll be looking to do a bit better today.
Yeah, I don't know. He just seemed to sort of not get to grips with it properly, but hopefully we'll see a different Arran tonight. Yeah,
we know what Arran is capable of. He's getting plenty of track time across the 2 National League divisions, and hopefully he can put that. He scored 10, 4, 4 and 6 for the ball, so he is scoring points for the National Trophy for Birmingham. Let's hope he can transfer that here to the track. So Arran BUTCHER, Ashton Vale, Mickie SIMPSON, Dayle WOOD is in for the rider replacement ride. Scott Marshall walks away, takes up, and it's a good gate off the inside and off the outside. Great start from Arran BUTCHER. Will he get the run around Dayle WOOD? Or will Dayle WOOD get his wheels in line? It is Arran BUTCHER. He's come off that gate 4 across everybody. Now, can he just settle down, calm those nerves? He's got the Edinburgh Academy all over the back of him, and Mickie SIMPSON there has gone big around the outside, but it's locked up a tiny bit. It's all action in those first lap.
Yeah, it's action-packed here. I think there's a bit of a dirt line round 1 and 2, so hopefully hopefully some of the boys will catch on to that and keep making it work. But
yeah, Mickie Simpson's really pushing Arran Butcher here. Arran's out front, just got to ride conservatively now, hold his line, not feel under any pressure from Mickie Simpson, who is really on his back wheel. We've got a big last lap. Mickie Simpson looking to put it around the outside of Arran Butcher. Dayle Wood's holding on to third. It's Ashton VALE at the back at the moment. Into turns 3 and 4 for the last time. It looks like Arran is going to hold on. Mickie Simpson, Mickie's gone down big and Dale's got no option but to go over the top. Ugly way for that to end. Dayle Wood couldn't do anything there. Hopefully the boys are okay. They're both sat up on track. Whoa, just Mickie Simpson got in that bother coming off of turn 4, Luke, and Dayle just had nowhere to go. Big incident. Yeah, both the Edinburgh boys are down at the moment, so we'll just hold comms. We know that Arran Butcher, let's talk Arran, he did really well. He held on, he had pressure from Mickie the whole way, but managed to hold on for the win. Yeah,
it was great to see. He didn't, let that pressure get to him, and no, he just rode his own race, and it's paid off with a heat win there.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a little bit of a delay here. And again, I was so focused on what was going on there, I don't actually know. So Ashton VALE came through for second place.
I think that would be awarded to Dayle, I'd say.
As no option, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
I think. Ooh,
okay, we're getting some applause. So Mickey's up. That was a really ugly fall for Mickie. He kind of went over the top into just the end of the airbag, I think. Or he might have actually caught the fence, yeah. He might have caught the beginning of the fence. There's Mickie, he's up, walking back. He looked a bit uncomfortable a couple of times on there, Mickie, just where he was getting a feel for the track, potentially.
Yeah, I think the bike sort of seemed to be driving in maybe some of the wrong places for him, and he's got a bit of an uncomfortable ride there. It's not ended too well. No,
and again, it's like we were talking about when we were chatting a moment ago. When you're on there and you're racing, aren't you? Sometimes the brain doesn't tell you to just consolidate, relax, try and hold the line. You're learning the track. You just go for it. And Mickie would have felt he could have caught Arran there.
Yeah, he definitely had the speed on him down the straights too. Yeah. So he definitely would have been full of confidence there, trying to just get that first place.
So there's Mickie. He's up and walking back. We'll just wait and see if we can get confirmation of, like Lucas said there, whether Darryl will be awarded that second place. But Dale's still down. He's got paramedics are with him. I can see Jamie Courtney there with him as well, and Scott Wilson, the academy. It's Mickey's up and hobbling back. Hopefully Dale's okay. There's us. We're the most interesting thing to look at the minute. There's nothing going on track.
He's up on his feet.
He's up on his feet. There we go.
That's good.
That's terrific news. And nowhere to go but to go up over the top of Mickie.
But very quick thinking to actually lift the front wheel up and make a jump of it, because if he'd have just gone in with that front wheel, that I'd say definitely could have ended up a lot worse.
100%.
Yeah, battered and bruised there.
100%. So yeah, it looks like they'll probably do a little bit of track work here while there's a bit of downtime while the paramedics will be with Dayle. But yeah, as of this moment, we don't know how that result ended. I think you're right there. That's probably, they would award him second place because he could do nothing about that.
Yeah.
So I think you're probably right on that one, Luke. And Ashton VALE would have got the third.
That yellow exclusion light is definitely on down there. So
so that's an exclusion for Mickie. Thankfully, he's okay.
Yeah.
Got that fence comes at you quite. If you're riding a white line and you're not almost, I use the word caressing, that's not the right word, but if you're riding the curve of the fence, you're on a winner. If you're not, if you're coming across towards the fence, that's when it comes at you so fast.
So fast, and you don't really realise. And I was thinking about it the other day, but when you're actually riding the bike, you're not fully aware of what you're doing. So, sort of, catches you off guard a little bit.
So here we go, we can see the replay. That's the heat before, we'll find. That was a nice shot of Senna.
Yep. Here we go.
Here we go. Keep an eye on Mickie, just loses it there, locks up and goes over the top, and just keep an eye on Dayle. Oh, and it just caught Mickie as well. Jeez. And again, they're up and walking back, but that could have been a heck of a lot worse.
I'm seeing that now because I missed it the first time round. I'm surprised they've actually walked away.
Yeah, 100%.
Wow.
And it's millimetres. I think there was a bit of contact between Dale's bike and Mickie, but a couple of millimetres movement either way from both of them, and that could have been a completely different story for Mickie. And it's the bikes again here that have taken a battering after that. It's not just the rider, is it?
No,
the bike as well.
It's they're definitely not cheap machinery to fix as well. So that's best wishes
to both of those boys for sure. So it is a 4-2 that has been awarded. So that moves us on to 12 points to 6. Just quickly fill in the programme. So Ashton would have got the 3rd place there. Mickie excluded. Thankfully he's okay. And Dayle WOOD, who was in for the rider replacement ride there, he'll be awarded that 2nd place. But yeah, nasty way for that race to end. But you're right, Mickie was pushing that whole race and just unfortunately got in a bit of bother there coming off of turn 4, and just seemed to go over the top eventually, didn't it? I kind of high-sided him.
Yeah, almost like a high side on the low side.
High side on the low side. So Arran BUTCHER with the win, Dayle WOOD 2nd, Ashton VALE 3rd, Mickie SIMPSON 4th. So it was a 4-2 to Oxford. So that makes it 12-6, the progressive score. Thankfully, both riders are up after that incident and have walked back to the pits. And we hope for this meeting. That's Mickie there, isn't it? So Mickie looks like he's okay. He's just trying to get that chain out. So Mickey's okay, and hopefully Dayle will be okay as well, because you want them in there. We need them in this meeting to keep it competitive and keep it close.
Yeah, and Dayle always creates great racing too. So he's definitely one that we want left in this meeting.
Yeah. So I think what we'll do now is we're just going to bring out the bells up and the tractor. Actually, we'll do a bit of track work. Let me just clock my program a second. So will they do much in terms with the track at the moment? Is it catching riders out coming across? Because in all 3 heats we've seen somebody come from 1 into 2 and end up at the bottom of the bag on turn 2.
Yeah, I think we can see there the grade is just sort of smudging around that dirt to maybe create less of a pull mid corner and maybe dump it coming out the corner for a bit of extra drive.
Because that's what it's doing. It seems to be dragging the boys over towards the bag, doesn't it?
Yeah, sort of. The bike starts driving pretty much when you don't want it to, so it's definitely making difficult riding for some of these boys, just the fact that it sort of slickens off a bit out wide coming out of bend 2 as well, sort of makes it a bit more difficult.
Because they don't have, I imagine most tracks these boys go to for the National League meetings are, well, you know, because you've ridden the level, is prepared differently. So if you were going there for the championship or if it was a premiership track, it's prepared differently. There isn't as much grip. And do you find it can be a smoother run most of the time at this level?
Yeah, definitely smoother and a lot more slick too. But sometimes it can backfire. That happens in any league at any track. So it's never a given that it will be smooth and slick. But no, the track looks great today. So
just looking at the work that Mickey's doing there on the bike, that's the bike that is he, in your eyes, getting that ready to go again? So that bike will be good to ride again.
Looking at it, yes, I think so. I think we can see there he's taken that clutch basket off. I think that's possibly a bit ruined. Or maybe it's the countershaft sprocket behind. Something around there where the chain's just got caught up is probably...
And would the chain have done the damage there?
Yeah, I'd say the chain coming off has probably chewed a few teeth, whether that's on the back of the basket or the sprocket behind it. But it looks like he's changing something out there to try and make that bike usable again. Or maybe he's just trying to get those chains out because they're still tangled in there. Okay, yeah.
Because it wasn't the chain coming off that caused the incident.
No,
he just got it wrong, and the chains come off within the movement of the bike. And
yeah, I'd say possibly, most likely, when Dale's hit the bike, it's sort of flexed the engine in the frame, and those primary chains aren't too hard to throw. So that's definitely tangled in there.
Yeah, proper. And that as a rider, from a rider's perspective, Dayle WOOD coming around there, that's a blink of an eye. It's a blink of an eye that's happened in front of you. So for him to be able, he was almost prepared for it. You could see in his body language, he's thinking, here we go.
Yeah, Yeah, no, it's split second decisions in Speedway all the time, and if that was mid corner, because you're already sideways, you can just lay it down. It's a lot easier. But when you're going down the straight, I wouldn't know how to lay it down the straight because you're not turning. So it's at that point you're sort of bracing for impact and hoping for the best.
Yeah, 100% right. From a non-rider's perspective, from the spectator's point of view, you watch it going into a turn. And we've seen it a million times where a rider will have that ability to lay the bike down and cushion the blow. But if you're going down the straight and there's someone in front of you, you're bracing for impact, aren't you? That's literally what you're doing.
Yeah, we've seen it there. I'm not too sure if he did pull up, but he definitely took that weight off the front of the bike, which helped it take some of the impact away and jump over. And
almost creates that kind of bunny hop.
Yeah, the best example of that was Freddie Lindgren a few years ago.
Yeah, wasn't it ever? He literally got the front wheel up, didn't he?
He did,
That was incredible.
No, that was something special.
That was incredible. So, yeah, thankfully both boys, they seem to be... We haven't seen Dayle WOOD appear. We know that Mickie SIMPSON's well. I'm just looking across towards the pits. I'm not sure if I can see Dayle WOOD back into his pit bay as yet. I also, we were in the pits earlier on, that's Dale's bay there. I don't think he's got a mechanic with him today. I think he's running solo. I didn't see anybody on the spanners with him. And for parade, it was actually Peter Schroeck that pushed his bike out for parade.
Oh, okay. Right.
So I think Dale's running solo. So I don't know how that's going to impact him, or there's nobody working on his bike at the moment. They've just taken the bike back in and put it there. There's Connor potentially doing something, and I think Dayle must still be in with the paramedics because he's not back in there in that pit bay. So yeah, Connor's doing a bit of work there to Dale's bike. And that must be so... I was a lot younger, I'll be honest, but I've been to a meeting with a rider. I think I was probably a teenager, that's how long ago it was. And he had no mechanic. So I travelled up to Sheffield with David Smart, who used to race for Oxford. And I literally did the oil and the fuel for him. I couldn't do much more because I didn't know how to do much more. But I did the oil and the fuel. But literally between every race, bam, he was in and working his socks off to try and get that. That's not easy for you to concentrate on your racing, is it?
No, it definitely takes your mind off of what you need to be focusing on. And I've had to deal with that at Edinburgh as well. And it's hard work pushing yourself off, spraying your own chains, trying to do things like that on top of thinking about the racing. And no, I've very rarely seen it go to plan. So.
Yeah, no, that's an incredibly difficult situation. That's for sure. So let's just flick back and let's talk about the under 21 meeting up at Glasgow, because it didn't go the way you wanted it to go. As much as I was screaming at the TV, you didn't hear me, and it didn't go according to plan. Can you put your finger on why?
No, I think that engine hasn't quite worked the same since I've had it back from service. It is the same as it was. It's the same as it's always been, but something about it is different. So when we came here on Thursday against Sheffield, I tried to, change the setup a bit, and it wasn't working. And shout out to Jamie Courtney, told me to change the carby, and it paid off. I made a decent start in the first run of Heat 11, and just about recreated it in the ReRun too. But after that, I sort of just dropped off. So no, I'm going to have that one of my carburetors looked at and get that serviced, so that's back and fresh, and hopefully maybe try and alter something with that engine to. Try and get it to react the way that it used to.
It's a real catch-22. We were talking to Peter Schroeck about it on that and the interview top of the show. And riding at this level for a rider of let's talk like Connor Coles, Dayle WOOD, Jody SCOTT, yourself, you can go out and win races, and that's good for confidence. But the wear and tear on machinery, on travelling, on those extra meetings when you're trying to do more, it's a real catch-22, because you could step into this type of meeting today and score loads of points, but then you're jumping straight on the bike to go to a championship meeting, straight in the van, and it almost contradicts itself in that you need racing at this level sometimes to build that confidence back up, because you can score points, but it hampers you because you've got other meetings at a higher level. It's a real tricky time. Do you feel you've done the right thing by stepping up and stepping out of this level?
Yeah, I believe my average was too high to fit into this anyways.
Yeah,
so no, but I think sitting around in one league for too long and maybe getting a bit too comfortable may halt progression. I don't know, but I've heard from some other riders that that's what they've done, moving out of the championship. So no, I don't know. It's hard to say, but I think it would be confidence boosting. But like you say, a lot of wear and tear, and you know, it's the same amount of money going into the the meeting.
Yeah.
And you're actually getting a lot less out of it now that they've put the money restrictions on. So, and
that was going to be my next point: is you still prepare your bike exactly the same as you would if you were racing at this level or championship, premiership, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. It's you still want the bike to work the same. It's you know, you're not going to prepare it different.
So we can see Mickie. So it looks like that Mickey's got the work done there. That's Ryan Ingram helping him get the bike as it was. So do you think that was primarily just to get that chain out because that was lodged in behind everything?
Yeah, I think it was just obviously tangled up between it, and it was trapped in until you relieved. Yeah, took away the pressure, trapping the chains.
So I think we've had a bit of an extended break. They've just done the track grading, but also I think because Dayle hasn't reappeared in his pit bay. So we're not going to see him, and he would have had 2 back-to-back because he was the rider replacement in heat number 3, but he's out for his first programme ride in heat number 4. And I think I can actually see Mickie SIMPSON walking out there. So Mickie will replace...
Is Mark Parker in white?
You might have better eyes than me, is it?
I believe that's Mark Parker.
Is that Mark in white? So
yeah, Lee Harrison in yellow, yup.
There we go, good eyes, good eyes. So Dayle won't be out in heat number 4. And there will be a rider change, so that's an injured rider replacement ride for sure. And it'd be such a shame if we don't see Dayle for the rest of the meeting. Obviously when we get any kind of confirmation of that, we'll let you know. But we are going to see Darryl RITCHINGS in red in this one. We are going to see Senna SUMMERS coming out in blue. And for the away side, it is Mark Parker coming out in the white helmet colour. So we've got 35 seconds. All the riders will get to tapes in enough time. So here we go. Lee Harrison, he's going to be on the inside in yellow for Edinburgh. Senna SUMMERS, win first time out. He's going to be in blue off of gate number 2 for Oxford. And then Mark Parker, he's going to be in for that for Dayle WOOD in the white helmet colour here off of gate number 3. And Darryl RITCHINGS in the red helmet colour. He's going to be going off of gate number 4. Nuffield Health, they sponsor heat number 4 here. Thank you for your patience while we've had that little extended break there. We are 12-6 at the moment. Edinburgh are going to be looking to hit back, but this might prove quite tricky for them. Coming up against Senna in good form, and the heat leader in Darryl RITCHINGS. Start Marshall walks away. Heat number 4. Tapes go up, and it is the home side. Mark Parker does make a decent gate, but Darryl RITCHINGS will come around the outside. Now, if him and Senna can work together here, they could well be home and dry here. 4 or 5. Well, Mark Parker's gone in there a bit hot. Doesn't take the back of Senna SUMMERS, thankfully. But Oxford could pull away with this one, Luke.
Yeah, and it's nice to see, you know, a slight bit of team riding going on there. Senna just letting Darryl around and settling for second. Yep, settling down for second. But no, those Edinburgh boys.
Yeah, looks like it could be an easy tapes to flag for Darryl RITCHINGS once he got round the outside of Senna SUMMERS. Who, to be fair to the Edinburgh boys, you know, they're not letting Senna get away. And if Senna makes a mistake, a little bit like he did in his opening ride, they will be on his back wheel as we go into the last lap. Darryl RITCHINGS home and dry. He's out there. They're all drifting across, and I think that naturally happens from 1 into 2. But they've all stayed upright. It has been a pretty straightforward 5-1. Mark Parker just goes deep, hangs on to that 3rd place. But pretty straightforward run, that one, Luke.
Yeah, nice little 5-1 for the boys there. And no, nice to just see Darryl sort of, taking control of that race from the get-go. Yeah,
once he got that run around the outside of Senna, he was pretty much, no one was going to get near Darryl there. And another great unbeaten ride for Senna SUMMERS.
Yeah, just settling for that paid win. Oh,
loves a back wheel, Darryl RITCHINGS.
Really, he does. So I've been told.
Yeah, it does love a back wheel. So here we go. Here's the confirmed score in that one. It was a win for Darryl RITCHINGS. It was second for Senna SUMMERS. A big 5 points for the home side. Mark Parker got a tiny bit of bother coming off a 4 for the last time, but held on to 3rd place. And Lee Harrison at the back. So 5-1 gets it a 10-point gap now, 17 points to 7. And it's going to prove tricky from here for Edinburgh. We can see it from the tapes. Keep an eye on both the... Mark Parker does make the gate in white. but it's the Oxford boys from the tapes.
Senna just made a flyer, and obviously being closer to that first bend too, he's got there first, but no, left just enough room for Darryl there to squeeze around, and no, they both sort of settled in there, and the Edinburgh boys at the back definitely kept Senna honest.
And there's no part of the race there where Darryl would think, I'm going to keep it slow for Senna. Would he just get himself 3 points? And
sometimes that's the safest option. You know, when you can see someone is hot in the heels, and you're in a position to, you're not always in the right position to, and sometimes you can actually make it more difficult for your teammate.
Yeah, and that was indeed the case there. So we haven't seen Dayle WOOD come back into the pit, so it might be that we've lost him for the remainder of the meeting, but we are moving swiftly on with heat number 5. We're going to see Arran BUTCHER. He's going to be off the inside red helmet colour. He was a winner first time out. Ryan Ingram, he's going to be in yellow off of gate number 2 for Edinburgh. Ashton VALE was awarded pretty much a 1 point in his opening ride. He's going to be in blue off of gate number 3. And Connor Coles would have had a second in his first ride, but for getting in a bit of bother coming off before, he's going to be in white off of gate number 4. Tang Tools, they sponsor heat number 5 here. And again, I've seen Ashton VALE win races around here. He rode very well in the side that you were in last season. He could pop out the start here and comfortably win this.
Yeah, no doubt. And he's shown it at the last home meeting too, that if he can make that gate, he's definitely quick out front, and fingers crossed.
Let's see what he can do from the tapes here. But he's up against Arran BUTCHER, who was good in his first opening ride. Really pleased to see that. And Connor Coles, again, a man who you will have learned from that opening heat, where he got himself in a bit of bother while in what would have been a comfortable second place, I would have thought. Let's see if he can improve on that in this one. So Darryl RITCHINGS, he won from gate 4 in the last one. Arran BUTCHER, he won from gate 4 in the one before that, and it was Jody SCOTT in the opening heat. So Connor Coles, he's got the favourable gate. We move into heat number 5. The tapes go up and away we go, and it's a good one from Arran BUTCHER off the inside, but also from Connor Coles off the outside. He will get his wheels in line and definitely come out in front down that back straight. Arran BUTCHER tucked into second, and Ashton VALE in third at the moment. Arran just looking over his shoulder, keeping an eye on where Ashton VALE is. And with Ryan Ingram at the back, but he's done the same thing again, Connor. He's going to be fuming with that, because that was a win all day long for him there, and he's done the same thing as he did in his opening ride, and that's presented another 5 points for the home side, Luke.
Yeah, I think he'll definitely be kicking himself for that, to make the same mistake twice. But no, it's good to see that, even though he did fall off, he's got back up, and he's definitely given it his all out the back, just in case maybe one of the Oxford boys breaks down. Yeah,
I think you're spot on. He really is still pushing in that full space just in case. But he's done exactly the same, and that's going to have cost his side probably a share of the spoils in this one. And he's almost done the same thing again. I can see Luke next to me with his head in his hands. But it is a win for out front for the Oxford boys. 3 points for Arran BUTCHER. Ashton VALE with the 2 points. Ryan Ingram's going to pick up a point there, unchallenged in third place. You had your head in your hands there, Luke, again.
Yeah, I think he just sort of back wheel came out on him, and then caught a bit of grip at the wrong time. But no, Arran BUTCHER has definitely turned around his scoring since last meeting, and maybe that extra bike time with the Bulls has helped.
Yeah, I think it has. A win for Arran BUTCHER, second for Ashton VALE. Ryan Ingram in third. Connor Coles was leading that one comfortably, but unfortunately got in the same bit of bother coming off of turn 2 that he had in his previous ride. He ends up fourth. 5-1 to Oxford. Again, has now 22 points to 8, and they are starting to pull away with this one. And Connor Coles is going to be kicking himself, because from the start he made a great gate.
Very even break. And no, I think at this point it is a race to the dirt line. He's getting a bit more traction than the rest of them there. But no, I think, just steady first lap from all 4 of them, really, So, but no, maybe he's coming a bit hot, as we can see.
We'll just catch him here. Yeah.
Oh.
He just straightens up mid-corner like he did last time.
Just, coming in a bit too hot, and no, maybe the track's a bit, dry in some places and wet in others.
He's going to be kicking himself, because he was, he's got 1 point from 2 rides. It could comfortably have been 5 from 2. That's the way it goes sometimes, isn't it? So we can see the ruts there. We can see them starting to develop. That was a win off of 1 for Arran BUTCHER. First one we've had off the inside. And he made a good trap off of 1 then. Yeah,
I think the gates are definitely still, all even at this point. And they don't seem to be drying out as much. Even gate 4's still got a lot in it, looking from up here. So, No, I don't think. I think it's going to be even all day, hopefully.
Yeah, no, I find that here. You know, I was here majority of last season and a bit the season before. There is good gates as a meeting develops. Of course, you get some, but there's always something off of everything here.
Yeah.
Throughout the course of a meeting.
Yeah, throughout the course of the day or night, depends what meeting we're at. Yeah, we can definitely see gates being made from all 4 gates, which is a great aspect of the track.
Yeah, good leveler. Yeah, that's right. You know, you can roll into anywhere, and so like up here, I'm a bit of a geek when it comes to stats. But in the pits, are you aware of this as the meeting goes on? Do you have somebody that's clocking which gates are working, and if someone's a bit closer to the inside of one than the outside of gate 1? Do you get that kind of information in the pits?
I mean, sometimes you'll ask amongst the team, but there's no one really who comes back and reports without being asked. So no, I don't know. But even going up there, you can, on your way up, you can see where people are starting, what's what, and try and choose what looks best. Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong.
Almost creating a job for myself. I could be texting mechanics.
Let me know.
Yeah, as I'm looking over the start line. So Paul Carrington, he's got us moving on. We're gonna be hitting heat number 6, and it's a heat we're supposed to see Dayle WOOD. We're not going to see Dayle WOOD. So there's another rider change for Scott Wilson. He's going to have a busy afternoon, Scott. And it's Mark Parker in yellow. Who have we got in white?
That looks like Ryan Ingram.
Is that Ryan coming out for Dayle WOOD in this one? So it is going to be Ryan Ingram in white. So we've about 2 back to whack here. So yeah, it's gone from bad to worse at the minute for the away side. And they're up against Jody SCOTT and Jacob Clouting, who got a 5-1 in their opening race. It's going to be Ryan Ingram, who's at number 2 this afternoon for Edinburgh, and Mark Parker, who's down at number 6. So I can see it's going to be a busy afternoon for the bottom end of the Edinburgh side. But here we go. Here's our lineup with the Real Mini Company. There are sponsors of heat number 6, and it's going to be Ryan Ingram off the inside in white, Jody SCOTT gate 2 in red, Mark Parker yellow in gate 3, and Jacob Clouting in blue off of gate number 4. We've still got 30 seconds until tape's up, so Ryan has got plenty of time to get round, but it is going to be a busy afternoon now for the reserves, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think now that it's IRR, we can see, even the main body can take
the rides.
The rides, and I'm not sure how it works with the averages, if it's one above or only below, but hopefully most of the boys can pick up an extra
I think
ride.
IRR is, that's right. Anybody can take those rides because it's been forced upon them. So yeah, heat number 6, Jody SCOTT, Jacob Clouting, we've got Ryan Ingram and Mark Parker. 22 points to 8, tapes up, and it's a flyer in red from Jody SCOTT. And just keep an eye on Jacob Clouting around the outside of the Edinburgh boys, up into second place to join his teammate. Jody SCOTT out front, Jacob Clouting in second. At the moment, it's something a bit hot there in white. It was Ryan Ingram in third. But again, it looks like this could be a run-of-the-mill 5-1 if everyone stays upright.
That's it, yeah. All being well with no mechanical failures. I think the boys can have a little look. Maybe they'll settle down a touch. And Jody's just a comfortable fast ride out in front.
Yeah, we can enjoy Jody out front. I tell you what, in yellow there. Mark Parker's just taking a great line around turns 1 and 2 to get in front of his teammate, and he looks pretty quick in third. He's learning the track as he's going, Mark. But they're stretched out. There's not been a lot to shout about in this one, but we will shout about Jody SCOTT looking really fast out front, taking the win from his teammate Jacob Clouting, as they did in heat number 1. And it is Mark in yellow that's come across in third place for the away side, but that lead is ever extending. 27 points to 9 now, and it's another 5-1 for Jacob and Jody, who are they're a strong pairing at 1 and 2, aren't they, Luke?
Yeah, it's it's I don't know, almost sort of a cheat code, I'd say, looking at it, especially at home. But no, Jody's strong at number 1 this year, and just ever so fast. Yeah,
he's looking good, and that's proven with that call-up that he's got for Redcar. So there we go, Jody SCOTT with the win, Jacob Clouting second, Mark Parker third, Ryan Ingram fourth. 5-1 to the Chargers over the Academy in that one. 27 points to 9 as we roll into heat number 7, and it's could well be a long afternoon for the away side here.
Yeah, I think...
Yeah, we can see it from the tapes, and again, the Oxford boys flew from the start.
Jody again, you know, his gating's at that championship level now too, so that's going to be huge for him. And no, again, Jacob just first to the dirt there, and he's made that outside run work, and then dropped back in and just settled.
Yeah, he still had to ride the right line to get round the outside of the Academy boys there, didn't he? So already up at tapes, moving on into heat number 7, 27.9. It's tricky for the away side at the moment. You know, and you almost want them to get a heat advantage just to draw them back in here. We've got a rider replacement ride, obviously, for Matt Marsden here. And that is going to be Lee Harrison in the white helmet colour. So he's going to be coming into this one to join Mickie Simpson, who we're going to see from the first time. Are we going to see Mickie? Everyone's looking over to the pits.
Helmet's on.
Okay, so he's going to be joining us. He's still got over a minute to get to tape, so he's got plenty of time. And we can see the countdown clock, 1:10 to go. To Lee Harrison, he's going to be in white in this one. There we go, there is our lineup for heat number 7. Henley and Son Lead Work Specialist, they're our sponsors. Darryl RITCHINGS, red helmet colour, he's going to be off the inside. It's going to be Lee Harrison, rider replacement ride in this one, he's coming in white. He's not excluded just yet. Lee Harrison, he's going to be off of gate number 2. Max Broadhurst, he's going to be in the blue helmet colour off of gate number 3. And when Mickie Simpson joins us, he's stood in the pits. He's got his helmet on, as Lucas said, but they're still frantically trying to do something to his bike to get it ready for him to come over. I think Paul on the centre green is trying to get an angle into the pit so we can see what's going on there. There's Mickie. He doesn't look to be in too much of a rush, but I think the timer is about to tick off.
No, I think that's... We might be looking at Mark Parker with his helmet on there.
So maybe Mickie isn't coming out.
Mars aren't that good. Not got my glasses.
No, so the 2 minutes are up, so it doesn't look like Mickie was ever going to come out for this one.
Boys might need a refuel in a second.
Yeah, I think they're going to head back to the pit gate and just pull up anyway. We'll try and get a camera in the pits and see if we can see what's going on. But have you just had a bit of a message across about Dayle that's not good news?
I have. Judging by the message, I'm guessing I'm meant to be saying it, but it's been reported from his partner that he's broken his wrist.
Which is terrible news.
Which we
for
can
Dayle.
see him there.
Oh, there we go.
In a sling. No good.
So that's terrible. Sorry to see Dayle there wearing the sling. So it is reported it is a broken wrist for him.
Such a vital point of the year too.
Yeah. And again, he was scoring for Berwick. Yeah, he was scoring for Berwick, and
he was. And I watched Berwick when they went to Glasgow, and you know, he was just caught in the wrong place at the wrong time, and ended up having a fall there as well, which was a bit of an awkward tumble. So. Right,
so there we can see Mickie has been excluded under the 2 minutes. So Lee Harrison, he's going to be out anyway, and now Mark Parker, he's going to be out in the yellow helmet colour. So it's the reserves again for the away side.
Sounds like they both have 7 heats done by.
I think they possibly
by
could.
10.
Yeah, I think they possibly could. A busy afternoon for those, but they'll be learning as they're going. You know, and they'll be getting a good feel for the track.
And we've seen Mark Parker seem to have learnt a lot in his last time out, you know, taking that wider line.
Absolutely.
No, he's definitely learning fast.
Yeah, so Darryl RITCHINGS red, Lee Harrison white, Max Broadhurst gate 3 blue, and Mark Parker yellow off of the outside. Then Lee and Son Lead Work Specialists, they sponsor heat number 7. Feels like we've been waiting for heat number 7 here for a little while. A few changes have happened. Mickie Simpson, I wonder whether it's just to do with mechanical or whether Mickey's not going to be returning to action. But heat number 7, let's see what this brings us. Start Marshall walks away, green light on, tapes up, Darryl RITCHINGS off the inside, and it's Mark Park off the outside. Is he going to get a run around? Darryl RITCHINGS, I tell you what, he might just do that. It's a tight race going into turn 3, and I tell you, Darryl RITCHINGS got some work to do here. Fair play to Mark Parker.
Yeah, that outside line is definitely working, but no, Darryl seems to have a lot of speed going down the straights, and no, he seems that he's working Mark out pretty quick.
Yeah, Mark Parker seems to be growing in confidence with every ride he's getting. Like we were saying, he's getting used to the track. but he's got a man, he's got plenty of speed in that machine, and Darryl RITCHINGS gets the run around the outside of Mark Parker coming off of turn 2 to get out front and into the lead, but he really had to work for that win, or that first place.
No, definitely. Let's hope he can hold on now. But no, Mark's definitely made him work hard for that. And like I mentioned, he's making sure that outside lines are being used well. Yeah,
so that is a hard-fought win for Darryl RITCHINGS. He had to come from the back to get ahead of Mark Parker, who was holding on to it for a little while. Lee Harrison in third place and Max Broadhurst at the back. But fair play to Mark Parker, because he really made him work for that.
No, definitely. And I think I'm led to believe Mark's fairly new to the sport, maybe 2 or 3 seasons. But no, and I know Darryl's had some time off, but he's definitely got that experience. So for him to make Darryl work it will be a great confidence booster.
Yeah, he really did push him all the way in that one. Darryl comes around to take the plaudits from the crowd. And a third place for Lee Harrison as well. So yeah, Darryl RITCHINGS eventually with the win, worked really hard for that one. Mark Parker, hats off, he held that lead for 3 laps. Lee Harrison in third, Max Broadhurst at the back. So a 3-3 scoreline, 30 points to 12 is the progressive. And you'd think that the meeting is done here now. I really struggle to see Edinburgh coming back into winning this. So we just want to see some good racing, and fair play to Mark Parker.
Yeah, that was really good from Mark. And, they were on there for their first heat advantage, but Darryl stopped it.
No, that'd be pleasing for Scott Wilson and for Edinburgh to see him jump out the start there and ride a really nice line. And he had to work to get ahead of Darryl in the first 2 turns, didn't he?
Yeah, definitely. But, he just stuck at it there and pushed Darryl down onto that part of the track where there isn't a lot of material. And, it left Mark getting more traction than Darryl around the track. And, Darryl definitely had to think about what he was doing and work for that race win there.
And you can see him looking inside, outside. He's working the track really well, Darryl. And again, you've got 4 laps, and when you've got the speed, you've got 4 laps, so it isn't like it's about pacing it and getting it at the right time.
Yeah, and he never let the panic settle in, and we see it happen there. Just sort of bided his time and made a safe and sensible pass.
Yeah, he got around the outside and into that first place. So there is the tale of the tapes up till now. We've had gate wins from everywhere. As we've said, it does tend to offer you that here, but the majority of the points are coming off of 1 and 3. Off of 2 and 4 there, as we can see. But there's points from everywhere and there's wins from everywhere.
Yeah, that's it. And I'd say the points are definitely a better show of how the gate's working, because, we've seen previous meetings where people go nowhere at the start, but they're miles smarter on the track, miles quicker, and they end up winning off of a gate where maybe the gate isn't actually so good. Yeah,
that's right. And you said it. Connor Coles did the same thing. Even though he dropped it on that turn 4, he still was full gas, because anything can happen. You don't know what's going to happen on those 3 riders in front of you, so you want to keep on your toes just in case.
That's it. And I think we've seen it here last meeting, if I'm right. Someone, Max Broadhurst, he got back up, and someone had fallen down, and he picked up that valuable point for the Chargers. So it goes to show that giving up is no use.
No. So we can see the bowels are out. We'll just get a bit of water in. I'd say the track was riding quite nicely at the moment for the boys.
Yeah, and we can see it's definitely a lighter colour, showing there's not as much water as compared to usual. But no, that outside line, there's no water. It still is working really well.
Is Senna just not listening to us there, mate?
I think he's sick of hearing me talk by now.
Fingers in the ears. So we'll get there. We'll get some water into the surface. And so what do you do? How are you feeling if you're in that Edinburgh pits at the moment? Is it just a case of now get out and just do whatever we can and just try and enjoy it? And it's tough, eh?
I mean, I'd say probably just learn. I know the National League is 1 home, 1 away, and that they won't be back here this year, but you just got to try different things at this point and just try and find something that works around here and take those notes down, so next time you come back you're starting off on a better foot. And I don't know, it's always about working things out and trying to be better.
And in terms of like Mark Parker, he's the rider that's standing out for the away side at the moment. For him, other teams will, if other teams are visiting and they need a guest rider, they're going to look at what Mark did here and think, let's give him a shot. Yeah, no,
that's it. I didn't even think of that point, but no, it goes. If you can prove yourself and you fit the bill, average wise for a guest, then you will be called up. And And maybe if they need a reserve in the championship and he can go and show what he does here, there's no saying they won't give him a call.
Yeah, that's right. So you can just see across the bottom of the screen there, the copyright of this is Oxford Speedway, Oxford TV. Any reproduction, sharing, posting legally, you're breaking the law basically. So don't do it. Buy the stream, support Oxford, support Speedway. If it's us or if it's another team that's doing a stream, please do the right thing and buy the stream. Thank you for doing so. If you're an Oxford fan that can't always get down or just chooses to not, maybe you can't come to all the meetings, we thank you for watching and enjoying it with us this afternoon. If you're an Edinburgh fan, thank you for joining us. It's a tough afternoon, a tough watch. But there's been a couple of positives in there with Mark Parker and hopefully Mickie SIMPSON. We just saw him there with Scott. Hopefully you guys will see Mickie back out on track before the end of the meeting. And if you're just a Speedway fan that look for a fix this afternoon, because there's only football on. Well, actually, no, there's MotoGP, there's F1, there's a load to choose from this afternoon. Hence the reason my son's not here. He decided to stay at home and watch all of those things. So, plenty to do, but if you're watching the stream with us, thank you very much for doing so. Hopefully we'll get some good racing in the back end of this meeting. There's a sad sight, but there we can see a Courtney who's packing up an Academy rider's gear. That's the Speedway, that's this level, eh?
Yeah, that's it. It's great that, it's still, they're racing against each other. Well, Mark's not racing, but, he's... I
reckon he still could.
I reckon he'd probably show me the way around here
Yeah.
anyways. No, but it's great to see, and they do work together up in Berwick, so I'd say that's...
yeah, that's a lot to do with it, of course, yeah.
But, no, Speedway's one big family, and it's great.
Yeah, that's right. So just a bit of downtime while we get some water into the track. We've had no dust yet, which is credit to these guys because it is a warm and windy day today. But we will move on. We will move on with this meeting. Yeah, let's just run through the scorers, and that's a really pretty picture for the home side at the moment. Jody 6 from his 2 rides. Jacob unbeaten, paid 6 from his 2 rides. Arran BUTCHER 2 wins from his 2 rides. Solid from Ashton, 3 paid 4. He's only dropped the 2 points. Unbeaten for Darryl RITCHINGS, had to work really hard for that second win. Bit of a tougher afternoon for Max, but he's still learning, still early days for him. And again, Senna unbeaten. So a beautiful picture for the home side.
Wow.
Yeah, a bit more tricky for the away side. Connor could have been a different story. He's been unfortunate in his 2 rides. Could have had 5. He's only got the 1. Brian Ingram, he's learning as he's going, young lad. 1 point on the board from his 3 rides. Mickie, we might well see Mickie again. He was excluded for that fall, which sadly cost Dayle his afternoon and potentially the next month or so for him on the sidelines. We wish him all the best. The success story so far, Mark down at reserve, Mark Parker, 6 points from his 4 races, and he's definitely going to have 3 more. And Lee Harrison, he's going to definitely get another 3 or 4 rides this afternoon. So a tough bruising afternoon for the away side, but they'll just be looking to try and get on track and get what they can out of the rest of the afternoon.
Yeah, it's the reserves will be busy, and obviously some of those boys can still take those RR rides for Matt. But no, we'll have to wait and see how it pans out.
We can just see the magic boxes inside the bikes there. I think we talked about these before, didn't we?
I think we have.
Is that a cargo one there?
So that I couldn't tell you.
No.
I call them the magic box because I don't get involved with them.
As long as they turn on and they do what they're supposed to do.
Well, that's it.
All you need.
Yeah, no, I've got.
And that's not you wouldn't adjust that during the meeting. That just is on and.
Well, those big magic boxes, I don't use them because so we've got the rev limiter coil there, usually PVL. That's what I know and love. But no,
so that's what you use.
Yeah, because you bolt it on, you plug it in, and it does its job. And there's no. With those boxes, as we can see on Ashton's spare bike, just there. No, it's you have to take them off, charge them. You can adjust them, and you can plug them in, change the mapping. There's a lot you can do, but they also cost a lot. And
Okay.
I don't actually. Yeah, I'm not too educated on it, so I'm not going to go too much further with that.
No, that's fair enough. But they're there and they're doing a job. It's amazing. Like a spear bike is relatively simple. But it's not, is it? There's so much that you can change on a bike.
Yeah, that's it. And, it does seem fairly simple from the outside. But, no, you can change your engine sprocket, the countershaft sprocket behind the clutch. And if you set them up different, you put a different one on the back, and it works out as different ratios. So some boys go to different tracks, and they'll change an engine sprocket and the countershaft to find those, half-tooths on the back. So, no, it's not as straightforward as people think.
A friend of mine used to call this a BMX with an engine, and then he did a track day, And then he phoned me up and said, it's not a BMX with an engine. That has some serious power. So he took that back once he'd had a go.
Yeah.
That's for sure. So we are 2 minutes are on. We are getting ready for heat number 8. We are going to probably run to programme for the home side here, that's for sure. Jacob Clouting and Senna Summers. There we can see. Is that white?
Mark Parker back out.
Mark Parker. It's probably going to be his reserve teammate, isn't it?
Yes, that is, yep.
Yeah. Just change my programme and Lee Harrison there in yellow. So we're going to talk a lot about those guys over the course of the second half of this meeting. Senna Summers off the inside, unbeaten so far, blue helmet colour. Lee Harrison, he's rolling into gate number 2 in the yellow helmet colour. Jacob Clouting, 4+2, he's unbeaten so far, red helmet colour gate 3. And Mark Parker, top man at the moment for the EDINBURGH Academy, he's going to be in the white helmet colour off of gate number 4. Abingdon Beds, they sponsor heat number 8. It's the reserve pairing again for the away side. And it's an unbeaten pairing here for the home side. So heat number 8, start Marshall. There we go, 2 minutes, that was a close one. Takes up and it's away by the home boys. Flying start there from Senna and Jacob. And again, it's Mark Parker that's pushing. He's pushing to get around the outside of Senna, but Senna just closes that door a little bit, moves across track. And it's a similar picture, looking like a 5-1 to the home side at the moment, Lou.
Great to see it again from a player's point of view. But no, yeah. Mark's definitely quick again. He's learned so quick this afternoon, and it's great to see. But no, yeah, a lap ago we seen Senna shut the door and just sort of squeeze him out, so creating a bit of room for himself.
Yeah, Jacob's out front, Senna just moving across from 1 into 2 like the boys have done, getting close to that fence. And Mark Parker is on his back wheel. If Senna makes a mistake with a lap to go, Mark is close enough to try and land a blow. Senna's just got to navigate this turn. Mark's looking good, he's got a nice style on the bike. He just carries that speed into turns 3 and 4. Will he get the run around the outside of Senna? He's going to have a go. Just moves out towards the fence. It's a win out front for Jacob. Yeah, it's a win out front for Jacob. It was second place for Senna. And Mark Parker did not let that race go. He kept on the tail of Senna. But it is another 5-1 to the home side. Those boys remain unbeaten. Thought he was just going to have a look around the outside there. Mark Parker coming into that last 2 turns, but Jacob with the win. Senna Summers second, Mark Parker third, Lee Harrison fourth. It is another 5-1. It's 35-13. But Mark gave us something to talk about. He didn't let Senna sit on that second, did he? No,
definitely. He must be tired now because he's had a few rides and he's definitely working his butt off in every single ride for all 4 laps. So it's great to see someone who's hungry and so keen to learn. But no, just here we see Senna shut the door, and it caused Mark to roll off the throttle for a little bit and created Senna some comfort room.
Yeah, but he definitely kept on the pace and he kept Senna on his toes for the full 4 laps, and he looks good. I like the look of Mark Parker. You know, he's scored points in every one of his rides, and he's definitely the Ryan that's going to leave here today with a tiny spring in his step for the away side.
Definitely so. No, he's been keeping everyone honest, and it's great to see.
So it is 35-13, so the meeting is essentially done and dusted. It's going to be a victory for the home side, so this will be the first defeat for the Monarchs. It will be a solid win for the home team. We're going to see Arran BUTCHER and Ashton VALE come back out in this one, and there'll probably be just a bit of an extended delay because we are going to see Mickie. Is that Mickie there in white? So Mickey's back out, which is good news. I didn't know if his afternoon would be done. And it'll be Mark who's got 2 rides back to back. So he's going to be out again in the yellow helmet colour. So the referee will just give it a...
Definitely busy.
Yeah, busy afternoon for him. You get those, don't you, when you're down at reserve, though? You know that it's there's the potential for it to happen.
That's it. And, you know, one thing is there's a lot of boys out of action this afternoon from the Edinburgh side, but also he is on fire. So who's to say he wouldn't have got his 7 rides, even if...
Yeah, there's Paul. You can just see the top of the referee's head there. So he's had a busy afternoon as well, because he's got to make programme changes as we go to make sure that he's not missing out on anything, because riders can only have 7 rides. He's got to make sure that that doesn't get exceeded, which I'm sure it wouldn't. So we've had 8 heats, and this is going to be heat 9, and Mark's going to have appeared in 6.
Wow.
That's good going, eh? That is good going.
Tiring.
6 out of 9, yeah. Yeah, that's a busy start to this meeting. So he will appear one more time as the meeting ticks by. But Lee Harrison, he's had 4 of his possible 7. But what they need is Connor Coles, who has shown that he can mix it at the front as long as he doesn't make those mistakes. That's what they need now, just to consolidate a little bit and just try and get something positive out of the meeting.
Yeah, and I think his line that he's been taking has been smoothened out. So, I mean, he probably won't go for it again now because he's made that same mistake twice. But I think that line will begin to work now for him. Yeah,
I think the problem he's got is he's up against Darryl RITCHINGS in his next one, Connor Coles, and then he's got Darryl RITCHINGS and Jody SCOTT in his next one. It's not going to get any easier for him.
Definitely not. No.
Not going to get, but one to maybe write off for the away side. It's all about learning. It's all about progression at this level. And it's now about for them to try and take something positive away from it. There we can see the ruts on the start line. There's the 2 minutes. And again, how would you? I've seen Edinburgh. I've been up to Edinburgh a couple of times. This track, it's quite different to Edinburgh in terms of the shape, and the size is not too dissimilar, is it? I don't think it's massive amount difference in terms of the size and the length of the track.
I'd say it's definitely smaller. Yeah, it's definitely tighter, and it's a not too dissimilar material, but it is a bit different. So, I'd say each team would have their home track advantage. But like you say, they're not too different to the point where it can't be competitive home or away.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so we've got 3 of the 4 up at tapes. Pleased to see Mickie Simpson back out on track, as he is entertaining to watch. Mickie, it should have been Dayle WOOD in this one, but it will be Mickie Simpson instead. So it's going to be Ashton VALE. He's going to be off the inside in blue for Oxford. 3+1 for him so far. We're going to see Mickie Simpson in the white helmet colour. There we go. He's going to be off gate number 2. He's only had that one ride where he bit the dust. Arran BUTCHER, he's going to be with the red helmet colour off gate 3. Unbeaten so far, Arran. And then Mark Parker, busy man so far. He's got 7 points from his 5 rides. He's going to be in the yellow helmet colour off gate number 4.
Must be his 4th ride off of gate 4 now, I think.
I think it is, yeah.
But he must be loving it. He's definitely making it work.
Yeah, and I think he'll be enjoying his afternoon, as tough as it is for the rest of the side. He's definitely ridden well. So here we go. SD Timo Carsdale here on sponsored off heat number 9. Marshall walks away, tapes go up, and it's a good break from Mickie Simpson off of gate 2. Keep an eye, that's really close from Arran BUTCHER there. Will that allow Mark Parker around the outside? No, he just didn't have the room to get round the outside. So we have an Edinburgh rider out front in Mickie Simpson. 2nd place at the moment is Ashton VALE. Arran BUTCHER in 3rd. And at the moment, Mark Parker at the back, who's probably showing a bit of tiredness. But Mickie Simpson out front, good for the away side.
Yeah, it'd be great for them to have a race winner. Oh, another one, I'm not too sure.
That'll be the first one if he can hold it. It's just locked up a tiny bit, which means Ashton VALE's got to do the same thing. And that probably has helped Mickie out a little bit. It's created a bit more of a gap through to 2nd place.
That was a great save from Mickie there. He was backwards for a long time. But no, Ashton's definitely showing more speed here now. I noticed a change in bike, and it's definitely working.
And I tell you what, Mark Parker in 4th, he gets loads of pull coming around 1 into 2. But it's not going to do him anything here in terms of scoring. He's really close on the run to the line, but fair play Mickie Simpson. He picks up the first win of the afternoon for the away side. 3 points for him. That was a pretty something to talk about all the way through that one.
No, definitely. Ashton definitely made a better bit at the start. A different bike. It was that one with the magic box on there. I noticed last meeting he did the same. he swapped and it works.
Certainly did. Mickie Simpson with the win, Ashton VALE second, Arran BUTCHER third, and Mark Parker was pushing for the entire race but just couldn't get up to challenge and get in that point scoring position. So it was a 3-3, second 3-3 of the afternoon. That makes it 38-16. Here we can see it from the tapes. Mickie Simpson makes that a great gate off a 2.
Yeah, and Ashton maybe got a bit too much of a jump, but it was a big squeeze there between 3 of the boys really, and Arran then shut the door on Mark Parker.
Yeah, I didn't know whether Mark would just get that run around the outside of him there, but just couldn't make that.
Left no room,
Just couldn't make that work.
And no, like you said, something to talk about all the way.
Yeah, that was fair play to the away side in that one. There's the Mini company just down the road. That Mini goes nowhere.
Mustn't have many miles on it, hey?
No. There we can see a tail from the tapes as it were. And there we go, it's evening out. 2 wins off of the inside 3 and 3 off of gate 4. And the points, look at that, 12-15, 12-15. Pretty even.
Yeah, the gates haven't actually altered too much compared to the start of the meeting. For a change, it looks like Blue's drying out, gate 2's drying out, just that little bit more than the rest. But no, it's some solid gates right the way across.
Yeah, and I think it's a tricky one. We won't read too much into that. As us again, there we are.
Oh, you've missed it.
Missed
no.
it.
Gutted.
So there we go.
Here we are.
Coming back to see me. Thank you, Paul. And because of the power of the home side, they're switching from 1 to 3, 2 to 4. They're contributing to the gates, really, aren't they? Because they are faster. They're on taking the victory this afternoon, and that's what's helping to even the gates out, really.
And with such a strong start too, all the boys right across the camp will be full of confidence, and confidence is key, especially when it's a bit of a don't know where I was going with that, but
no, yeah, I know. And do you know it's never going to get easier for the away side. We can see is that Ryan there? I think Ryan Ingram there is in the white helmet colour in this one, and he's going to be joined by. So we've got a bit more of a delay because Mickie Simpson's got 2 back-to-back here, but Ryan Ingram will be out as the rider replacement ride in this one for the away side. But Mickie is the one with 2 rides back-to-back. And I tell you what, apart from heat number 1, I think this is possibly the first race, and heat 3 of course, where we haven't seen one of the 2 reserves for the away side. But Mickey's the one causing us the delay here because he's got the 2 back-to-back. So for the first time this afternoon, really, the away reserves can just sit and watch the race. Hopefully no one touches the tapes.
They're definitely busy. That back tyre's definitely going to be worn out.
Yeah, isn't it ever? So what happens with Dayle WOOD's back tyre? That can be used, can it not, by the team as well? I think it can because it's one of the seven tyres.
But with the National League this year, they don't get provided tyres.
The away team don't get one, eh? Or do the home team not either?
No one.
No one gets
a
tyre.
So they've all got to provide their own tyres, and it's. So
you
don't know how that would work.
No, you can turn up with a fresh one, or you can
use multiple used ones. Yeah.
Yes.
But I think if you turn up with a new one, you can only use the new one.
Right. Okay. Okay. So the machine examiner will be hot on that in the pits. So for the home side, Jody SCOTT and Jacob Clouting, they haven't been touched this afternoon. Those 2 unbeaten as we move into heat number 10, and they are going to come up against Ryan Ingram and Mickie Simpson, who is putting up a challenge for the away side. We kind of knew that Mickie would do well. He would have picked up a second place in that opening ride if he hadn't got into trouble and bit the dust, which unfortunately has led to an injury to Dayle WOOD. But we will see Mickie off of gate 2 in this one. Jacob Clouting, 7+2, he's unbeaten so far, blue helmet colour off of gate number 1. Mickie Simpson, win last time out in the heat just gone. He's going to be in yellow off of gate number 2. Jody SCOTT, 2 wins for him. He's going to be off gate 3 in red. And Ryan Ingram, he's taking the rider replacement ride. He's going to be in white off of gate number 4. County Plumbing Supplies, they sponsor heat number 10 here. And I tell you what, with Mickie Simpson up against Jody and Jacob, this could be a heat.
This definitely will be one to watch, especially into that first bend. Mickie made a great bit of that start in the last heat, off of gate 2 as well. So no, we'll just have to wait and see. But it could be a nail-biting first bend. Yeah,
it could be potentially our closest race of the afternoon so far. 2 unbeaten riders for the home side. Mickie Simpson winner last time out for the away side. Here we go. Heat number 10 and into the first turn. Mickie Simpson and Jody Scott get there. Jody just gets the drop, but keep an eye up the inside. Nah, Mickie can't get the run. Jody stamps his authority round the outside into the lead. Mickie Simpson second. Is Jacob going to get beaten for the first time this afternoon, or can he get up to challenge? Mickey's looking quick in second.
He is looking very fast. I think he's keeping Jody honest, but I'd say if Jody can just keep settled, he'll cruise on for a steady win.
Yeah, Jody's looking fantastic out in front. I think the challenge will be whether Jacob can get up to challenge Mickie Simpson's for second place. Ryan Ingram just a little bit cut adrift here in white in fourth place. Mickey's just locking up a tiny bit there, allowing to Jacob just to pull him in a little bit, but Jody Scott out front looking fast. He's going to get 3 from 3 here. This is going to be his third win of the afternoon. Mickie Simpson really is unchallenged now in that second place, as is Jacob in third, so it is another win out front for Jody Scott. Mickie Simpson second, Jacob Clouting third, and Ryan Ingram in fourth. So what promised didn't really deliver there.
No, not quite. We've seen, Jody definitely another great start. You know, he's been on fire all afternoon, and he's really taking control of these National League meetings this year.
Yeah, he certainly is, and he does look a class above, doesn't he?
He came on a lot last year when he was guesting for the Cheetahs in the playoffs and those knockout cup finals and things like that. It brought him on, and I'd say he's a new rider this year. It's great to see.
Yeah, he certainly is, and he won that one at a canter, really. Mickie Simpson in second, Jacob Clouting third, and Ryan Ingram fourth. So it was a 4-2 advantage that time for the Chargers, which takes the progressive score 42 points to 18. But Jody Scott, 3 from 3, and looking really, really quick from the start. Made a flyer there. Mickie got away ahead of Jacob, but to be honest, as soon as Jody got his wheels in line here,
yeah, Jody sort of, closed that gap a bit, gave Mickie a little bit less room, and then, let it run wide down the straight, get those wheels in line, and create some speed.
He certainly did, and once Jody got his wheels in line, pulled away,
gone.
He was gone. He certainly was gone. So there we go, 2-2, 3-3, 15, 15, 17, 13. The tapes are even, doesn't matter where the boys are starting from here. But it's the superiority, isn't it, really, of the home side that's making the gates look like that.
And to have sealed the deal so early in the meeting too.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So let's run top to bottom on the scorers. Jody Scott, unbeaten so far, 3 rides. He's looking absolutely superb. Jacob Clouting just dropped a couple of points in that last one, but paid 10 for his 4 programme rides. Arran BUTCHER, again, he's just dropped the 1 to an opposing rider. He's on paid 8. Ashton VALE, 5 paid 6. Solid there from that middle of the team, that engine room. Darryl RITCHINGS only had the 2 rides. He's had the 2 wins so far. We'll see Max Broadhurst again for sure, but he's failed to score in his opening 2 races. And Senna, unbeaten from 3. He'll be really pleased with that.
He's got to be happy with that. There's you can't do much better at all.
No, that's right. Connor Coles, well, we'll see Connor again a couple of times, but he's had a frustrating afternoon so far. Could have been on 5, but he's only on the 1. Ryan Ingram battling away there, Ryan, but he's just up his depth a tiny bit, but learning as he's going. He's got a point on the board. Mickie Simpson, he would have had 7 there if he hadn't fallen in his first one, but he's got 5 points on the board with a 1 race win for the away side. Dayle WOOD, afternoon cut short, looking like a wrist injury for him. Just those 2 points to show. As Mark, what's he got? He's got 6 races, 7 points. We'll see him one more time before the meeting is out. And that's 2 plus 2 for Lee Harrison down there at reserve. So it has been a bruising, difficult afternoon for the away side. But the home side, you can only beat what you can beat, and they've really put them to the sword, haven't they? Yeah,
it's I enjoy to see this. Obviously, a closer scoreline would have been great to create more entertainment for the fans who have come here and the people paying to watch the stream. But no, it's the Oxford fans will be happy for sure.
Yeah, that's right. So Ashton just doing a bit of clutch work there. So is he completely taking that off? He's not just adjusting that, is he?
No, by the look of that lid on the floor, I think he may be putting in new clutch plates, but it's too soon to say. Yeah, he's definitely he's not just adjusting the clutch, he's
Definitely going to do something there, that's for sure.
Fresh plates underneath there. Yep.
Yeah, he's on. He's always got page 6, so it's it's one of those that page 6 from his 3 rides. That's a solid return for him. But when you've got your teammates popping out and winning every race, it means you feel like you could have done a bit better.
Yeah, it's but no, you can't complain. On an average of page 2 a race, it's no worries at all, is it really?
Yeah,
especially
right.
being at that middle order of the team, it's where you've got to score those few points, but there's no expectation to go out and win all of your rides. No,
the expectation comes from yourself, doesn't it? Basically.
That's it. The main pressure does come from yourself because everyone wants to perform, and it's not just confidence and feeling good. You're happy when you're winning, but it definitely helps the bank account too. Yeah,
that's right. So Ashton, he's still a young guy. Heavily involved in the grass track scene, won a lot of meetings in junior grass track. His uncle is Rob Mear that used to race. If you know Rob, he rode at Lakeside a few years ago now, Rob. But Rob was he rode for Lakeside, decent rider. So there's a bit of a family connection there. So yeah, the plates are coming out.
Fresh set going in a minute.
So the difference in putting in fresh plates. How does that make a difference from taking out the tired ones?
I mean, I've never noticed. Obviously, unless you have your clutch plates burn out, I've never noticed. I've never been one to swap them mid-meeting. Okay. But no, sometimes maybe he's feeling it's a bit spongy. Maybe the clutch is slipping. We don't know. Only he'll know, and his mechanics. But no, fresh clutch plates will definitely make a difference because they're clean. They're most likely a bit thicker as well, so you get a better bite out of it, and you get a lot more of a reaction when you drop the clutch.
Yeah, okay. And when you are in that position like Ashton is this afternoon, he's done incredibly well, but you might as well try. If you feel that might make a difference and you feel you're not getting out the start as good as you may as well make that change and give it a go.
Yeah, there's no harm in it. It's it can't do anything wrong unless those plates aren't clean. But I don't see why someone would do that. Put in dirty plates.
No,
You'd hope not, anyways. Far out.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. So you can see the Adrian Flux sponsorship there on the side of Jody's bike. He's riding for Kings Lynn in the National Trophy. So he's got the 2 sides, and he's a busy man now because he's just signed to go to Redcar. And I think, I might be wrong, I think he made his debut for the Cheetahs at Redcar last season. I could be wrong when he stepped into the reserve berth there, and that was at Redcar. But he'll do well at Redcar. It's a good track. It's a track you can really race, eh?
It's definitely a racer's track, and there's plenty of lines around there, and I believe he's done a few laps there too. So, yeah, it should be good for him.
Yeah, really disappointing there. We can see Dayle on screen. He's got that sling on. So he's not making a quick exit to the hospital. So whether it is a wrist injury and not any kind of break, we don't really know, but we wish him all the best. Not the way he would have wanted this afternoon to pan out. But like you said, it could have been a heck of a lot worse.
Definitely, it's and it looked like he broke the peak off his helmet. He definitely hit his head. Hopefully, that's no issue for him. And he seems to be fine and in good spirits, which is great to see.
And the fact he doesn't have a mechanic here with him, what's immediately jumping into my head is, how are you getting home?
Well, you'd hope it's not a manual, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. He's going to have a challenge driving home after that. So there's a man who's had a bit more track time this afternoon running than he thought he would have done, but it's all about learning. It's taking something from when you don't win races, and you're just gaining from all the experiences that you're getting, aren't you?
Yeah, that's it. And as far as I'm aware, obviously, like I said before, we tried to get him in last year as a guest, and he was too young, so it must be his first year here. So he can't expect too much from himself, but he's definitely showing signs of he's a great prospect.
Yeah, that is literally what this is all around. Gaining valuable experience. So we haven't had the tractor out. We're just getting some water down into the surface to hopefully just give the track a bit more bite as we move into the back end of this meeting. Still got 4 or 5 races to go. At 42.18 the meeting is well and truly over, so it'll be a victory for the home side. That'll take them on to 4 points in the league. And like you say, it's just one home, one away at this level. But it's good that they've introduced the national trophy. So that wasn't in situ, that wasn't in place last year. So for a lot of these guys, they would have just had these one home, one away. They're now getting double the track time racing, at the likes of Birmingham and Kings Lynn.
Yeah, that's it. And, last year, the National League was 5 meetings at home and 5 away. And now that there is a national trophy, it's it's different tracks for them to learn. And
that's right.
Majority are premiership tracks too. So it's great experience for those boys to be learning those different tracks that they're going to have to ride sometime in the future.
Yeah, the more tracks you ride, the more lines you race. It just opens everything up, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's, I had 2 tracks this year that we've been to. That it was my first time too. So for these boys to,
yeah, talk us through that.
Wow.
I was just about to say to you, that shouldn't look like that.
No, that's, that looks, it's on Mickie Simpson's chair, and I'm guessing Dale's packed up. So that must have been the impact from Dale's front wheel possibly, or some part of Dale's bike where he's just hit that exhaust. Yeah, that's unhealthy.
Yeah, he literally hit it and jumped and bounced up over the top of Mickey's bike. Thankfully, not Mickie. That could have been a heck of a lot worse.
I think he did clip him.
I think he did as he came down, eh? Yeah. I think he did. Mickey's a tough old boy.
Wow, he's been out on track since, and it seems like he's not been affected.
No, 5 points from his 2 rides since that incident, and it would have been 7 for Mickie had he not got out of shape, coming off a turn 4 and having that spill. But that's the nature of it. I don't know if you can hear but the wind is really picking up. It's really picking up here.
I thought I was the only one then.
Yeah, no, the wind is really picking up. We can see from our vantage point here. You can see over the top of the back of the pits there where we've got that bit of greenery. The wind and the trees are really, really going for it. You can just see it there on screen. Look, that's really picked up in the last few minutes. How does that affect you while you're riding? Does it?
I mean, maybe if it was a big track and really strong wind, you would feel it. But I'd say, Oxford's obviously not one of the bigger tracks, so you're not going too fast. And there's a bit of wind created from that speed you have anyway. So it's I've never known it to
never
affect
noticed
me.
it really, no.
Not in this country, no. Senna's not a fan of the cameras.
I will get an interview with him at some point. You're quite a quiet guy, eh? Quite a quiet Senna.
He's nah.
Outwardly, he appears quite quiet.
I'd say so until you know him well enough.
Yeah.
No, but no, he's been on the spanners for me, and he's been great all year. So he's he's sort of his first time on the spanners. I think would have only been a year and a half ago, but he's come a long way. And there's Big Jib.
Yeah, you see him
Jamie
at a lot.
Robertson.
See him at a lot of meetings. Yeah,
he's everywhere.
Yeah, he certainly
up and down
is.
the country, flat out.
So he's got one more race program ride, Senna, which will be in Heat 12. Let's say that he gets a win or a paid win in that one. So he's walking away from his 4 program rides with a maximum. What if Peter wanted to put him in? Max has got one more, so Max Broadhurst has got to have. Oh, Max has got 2 more races. So would Senna take an extra ride, or would he take the maximum?
I don't know. It's
what would your mindset be if you'd gone through and you're aiming for your first max? Would this be his first max? Probably.
Yeah, I'd say so. He had his first win round here last meeting, and then he backed it up and won his first 2. So no, but
what did you do? So you sat on a max, 4 rides.
I had that at Plymouth a few years ago, 2022, 5 rides. And I took heat 15 and I come last. I fell off on the last bend. So
there you go.
It's I've never had a max yet. I think I had a 4 ride here, but no, I think if I could go back in time, I would have taken the paid max.
Grab that one. It's funny because I've had that guy. I think when my dad was alive, I had that conversation with him. What would you have done? He said, "No, I'd always take the ride because even if I scored 1 point, that was money."
Yeah, no, that's true.
He wasn't bothered about the stat. He was more worried about getting the money for the win or the point.
No, but it's a great claim to have your first paid max, or max of any sorts really. But no, I don't know. I think in his position, he probably. I can't speak for him, so I don't know. I'll leave it at that.
And we'll wait and see. The wind really is whipping around our commentary booth here, but the boys are back out on track. We don't have a 2 minutes as yet, but we've put plenty of water down on the surface, just to try and see us home. in these final few heats. You can see Connor Coles there. He's going to be looking for a better return here than his 1 point from his first 2 rides. He's going to be up against Darryl RITCHINGS and Max Broadhurst. Darryl RITCHINGS, he's unbeaten so far. 2 races, 2 wins. Had to work really hard in that second race, didn't he, to get those 3 points?
No, definitely, Mark. Mark's made a great handful of this meeting, and no, he made Darryl work for it. But yeah, it just goes to show the rider that Darryl is being able to work for those laps and have the patience to stick it out and get that win.
Yeah, absolutely. There's Connor. He's up at tapes. He's going to be off at gate number 1. He'll pull up next to Darryl RITCHINGS in red. So all 4 riders on bike. Just over a minute to get round to tapes. Max Broadhurst, he'll be looking here to try and get his first point on the board. And again, potentially this heat could turn, well, I think it will turn into 2 races. You'll have Ryan Ingram there in the yellow helmet colour up against Max Broadhurst. And you're going to have Darryl RITCHINGS against Connor Coles. That's going to be the two races in one here, eh?
Yeah, I'd say it'd be great to watch. Hopefully the camera can capture all of it.
Yeah, the 2 races. So Smiths of Bletchley, they sponsor heat number 11 here. You're going to see Connor Coles in the white helmet colour off of gate number 1 for Edinburgh. Darryl RITCHINGS, 6 points so far. He's going to be in gate number 2 in the red helmet colour. Ryan Ingram, 1 point for Ryan. He's going to be in yellow off of gate number 3. And Max Broadhurst looking to get a point on the board. He's going to be in the blue helmet colour off of gate number 4. 42-18. The result is going to go to the home side. Let's see what Edinburgh can do in the back end of this meeting, just to try and get a bit of credibility on the board. Maybe take a couple of race wins. And they'll be looking for Connor Coles here to do that. And Oxford will be looking for Max Broadhurst to get a point on the board. Heat number 11, green light on, tapes go up, and it's a cracker of a start off the inside from Connor Coles. Darryl RITCHINGS just having to change course to go around the outside. He does that. But I tell you what, Edinburgh have packed into 2nd or 3rd here. And Ryan Ingram, he's going to be looking to hold on. Oh, he spun there. Well done, Max Broadhurst. He laid that down fantastically well at the back there.
Very well. Quick reactions.
Very quick reactions.
Right,
but I tell you what, I was keeping an eye on Ryan Ingram. Did Connor lay it down before him?
I think Connor was spinning out and Ryan may have taken avoiding action.
So we can see Darryl, he's pulled away. Keep an eye on the 2 Edinburgh boys here, Connor Coles and Ryan Ingram. I was keeping an eye on yellow. Yeah, they both pretty much did it at the same time.
I think that's...
a referee's got a decision to make here.
I know, because they both sort of did their own thing there.
Because they both span and dropped it down at the same time. So who was the cause of the stoppage? That's a tricky one. I'm not sure what the referee's going to do there. I'm
no referee, but we'll see it here again.
So Darryl's out front. We're not worried about Darryl. He was... he had the race sewn up. They both spin and drop it. Fair play to Max, because he read that early enough to lay the bike down. So he did brilliantly well there. Who's the ref going to... there's no light on yet down there. Can the referee exclude 2 of them for being the cause of the stoppage?
It's happened here before.
Yeah, possibly.
Against Oxford favour too.
Possibly will. Which I think Max Broadhurst will gobble up, because he's going to get a point as long as he stays upright for the 4 laps anyway in the rerun, because someone's got to go. But Connor made a terrific start, didn't he? Connor made a great gate there.
Amazing. Yeah, bike just drove all the way. And no, I know Darryl did make a great start too, but just wasn't quite enough.
No, so we're just waiting to see if we can hear what the referee will do. Sometimes the referee appears in our commentary box, where we've got Andy on the button here with the replays and production. But yeah, as yet we're not too sure. It's going to be an Edinburgh rider excluded. Thankfully they're all up. That was okay. There was no real... You can see Scott Wilson walking back there with Ryan. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he does do there. Connor was in front and potentially started to go before
Ryan. Yeah.
Before Ryan. So I think
he did spin out first, but that's either Ryan fell on his own, or that's very, very quick reactions from Ryan to get that bike down and take avoiding action.
Indeed, but we are getting the nod that Connor Coles in white has been excluded. So it has not been a great afternoon for the Edinburgh number 1 here.
He'll be kicking himself.
He really will be kicking himself. He's had he's got 1 point from his 3 rides so far, Connor Coles. But on a different day, he could have well been looking at 7 points. So it's not one he's going to look back on favourably. It does mean that Ryan Ingram is going to go solo in this one for Edinburgh. And sometimes it just happens, you know, sometimes you just have that. You have that meeting where things don't go your way, mistakes you don't normally make. But for Connor, he's got to be really frustrated, eh? There you can see the transponder there. That's what picks up all the race times. But yeah, he's going to be disappointed, isn't he?
It's frustrating, but no, that's, well, the ugly beauty of Speedway. It's, yeah, there's meetings where nothing goes to plan, and you've got to take them on the chin because it makes you a stronger person.
Yeah, learn when it goes wrong, basically.
Just embrace it and learn from your mistakes.
Yeah.
That's what I've been learning and being told.
100%. So Darryl Richings and Max Broadhurst, they will go again, as will Ryan Ingram. You can see Ryan Ingram talking to Max Broadhurst there, but we will not see Connor Coles. This is one meeting he's going to want to forget. So, Paul Carrington, he's got the 2 minutes ticking down. The riders will be coming round here for the replay. The rerun, of heat number 11. So if Max stays upright, he's going to get his first point on the board. If he can make the jump and get out ahead of Ryan Ingram, we might just have a battle for that second place.
Yeah, but I did notice Ryan made a great effort of that first bend. It was very smart. You know, he didn't quite get that gate that he was probably looking for, but no, tidy cut back, and it just was right amongst it.
Indeed he was. There he is, just getting pushed off from within the pits by Mickie Simpson. Clearly Mickey's not feeling second hand at all after his spill. Riders back round to tapes for the rerun off heat number 11. So no Connor Coles off the inside, he's excluded as the cause of the stoppage first time out. Darryl Richings, he'll be in red off of gate number 2. Ryan Ingram, yellow, gate number 3 for Edinburgh. And Max Broadhurst in blue off of gate number 4 for the Chargers. Smiths of Bletchley, they're the sponsors of this rerun, heat number 11. I imagine Darryl Richings has got a free run to that first turn into that curb. Let's see what Ryan Ingram can do off the 2. Can he challenge Darryl? And can Max Broadhurst challenge Ryan off of that wide outside? Darryl Richings makes the gate as expected up into that first turn first. Now keep an eye on Max Broadhurst round the outside. No, Ryan Ingram just moves across and stops that run. Max just tentatively rolls it into turn number 3. Darryl Richings out front. Will we see a battle here for that second place, or will Ryan pull away?
It's looking likely. We can see Max is making the track nice and big, and he's been gaining some speed out of the corners, but we'll just have to a little bit out of shape, but we'll wait and see how this plays out.
Yeah, he just gets a little bit out of shape there. Darryl Richings out front looking really comfortable, heading for his 3rd win of the afternoon. Second place at the moment is Ryan Ingram. 3rd place is Max Broadhurst. And getting really spaced out as we go into the last lap on this one. Darryl Richings home and dry. Ryan Ingram is just riding a consolidated, comfortable ride. He doesn't want to lose those 2 points, and he is going to pick up a solid second place in this one. So it is a win for Darryl Richings. Second place. Whoa, again, Max just getting a little bit too close to the fence there, coming off of turn 4, but he does get a point on the board. It's another heat advantage for the home side. That takes him over the 45 point into 46 for the win. It is a victory, but it's a good second place for Ryan Ingram. Solid points for him.
Yeah, confidence boosting for sure. Nice little wheelie there too. Looks like he's been practicing them.
Yeah, and he'll be happy with that. Fair play to him. Any points you earn are good points, and he had to get over the top of Max Broadhurst there and get that second place. So Darryl Richings with the win. Third one of the afternoon for him. Ryan Ingram second, Max Broadhurst third, no Connor Coles fourth, excluded in the first run in 46.20 after that 4-2. That takes the victory official. Here we can see it from the start. Darryl, he made a great gate, lifted a tiny bit, but
Dynamite.
That was the race done and done there for him, and it was just whether there Max could get the run around the outside.
Yeah, Ryan played it smart there and just moved out and didn't leave enough room for Max to have that run into the third bend. But no, solid race.
So as he learns and he goes, would he have pushed a little bit further deeper into the turn there, Max, potentially?
Yeah, it takes a while to get your head around it, coming in here wide into the third bend, and especially when there's someone, just in front on the inside. It's tricky to sort of come in and attack that bend properly, but that comes with time, and Max will learn that.
Yeah, absolutely. So here is that heat number 12 that I was talking about. We're going to see Senna Summers, Mark Parker. He's going to be in yellow off the inside. He's given us something to talk about this afternoon from his 7 points. Arran Butcher, 7+1. Good afternoon for him. He's in red off of gate number 2. Mickie SIMPSON, he is in white off of gate number 3. And he's picked up 5 points in his last 2 rides, so he could give us something to shout about in this one. Can Senna Summers, off of gate number 4 in the blue helmet colour, can he remain unbeaten? That's the question in this one.
Inside word. He's told me he's yet to score a point from gate 4, so
seriously?
We'll hope he can turn it around here and see what happens. Hopefully he can do it.
So he thinks he's never scored a point off of gate 4?
Last I heard, yes.
Okay, interesting. I'll have to have a quick stat run on that later on, but
maybe it's a race win.
Maybe it's a race win.
I don't know.
Let's see what he can do. Do you know what he's going to? If he does come away from this with a paid max, he's going to have done well, because he's got Mickie SIMPSON here off of gate 3, who has looked the most competitive rider for the academy this afternoon. Guesting for Sam McGurk. So Colin Perkins, Property Maintenance, they're our sponsors. Senna's made a good one off of 4, and he's going to travel all the way round the boys. Mickie SIMPSON up the inside. Senna's got himself out front. Mickie SIMPSON's given up the ghost. Right, Senna Summers, head down. Keep those wheels in line. You've got Mark Parker, second place on your back wheel. Arran Butcher in third. Mickie SIMPSON's bike has given up the ghost, but we've got a race out front here, Luke.
Yeah, Mark's he's still persisting with the outside line, and it's really working for him. Senna's had a quick look, just shut the door a bit, and now he's definitely going to know that Mark's there.
Yeah, Senna's going to have to work really hard, because Mark Parker is pushing really fast behind Senna Summers here, and he is running that wider line where the grip is. Senna just moves out again with a lap to go.
Such a smart ride.
Mark Parker's working really hard here. Senna Summers got your back straight in 2 turns for what we think could be your first max in Oxford colours. And he's done it. Senna Summers has held on to the win. Great victory for him. Mark Parker, hats off.
Such a smart ride.
Senna Summers, congratulations, my fine fellow. Great win for him. And he was under pressure for 4 laps.
Definitely so. Yeah, no, he'll be stoked with that. Looking at how happy he is, I think he's going to walk away now and walk away a happy man for sure.
Yeah, he's happy with that. Fair play to him. He had to work hard for it as well. It wasn't on a plate. We threatened that Mickie SIMPSON was going to be the man that was going to challenge him, and Mark Parker pushed him all the way.
Yeah, but it was just a smart ride from Senna right the way through there, blocking that run, because Mark had loads more speed coming out of those corners, but never had a chance to use it.
Senna Summers with a win, Mark Parker second, Arran Butcher third, Mickie SIMPSON engine failure in 4th place, so 4-2 to the home side. That takes him to the 50-point mark, but what it does do is after 4 programme rides, it leaves Senna Summers on a paid max, 10 paid 12. Here we can see it from the start. He made a great gate, and he had to go round all 4 of them, didn't he?
Yeah, he's just flew from the tapes, and he did. He just stuck with the outside line. Definitely would have tensed up a bit there, I'd say.
For sure.
Going in that third bend created such a lead, and we see him settle down, come back to the inside a bit, and Mark's that leaves Mark with that outside run, and he's gaining so much more speed.
I've been really impressed with Mark. He's really pushed in all of his rides.
So well. I think that'll be 7 for him now, hey?
Yep, that's him done.
He'll be done.
He can sit back and just enjoy the last couple of races from the pits, knowing he's not going to get called upon. But who is getting called upon in this one is Lee Harrison. He's going to be in yellow which would have been Dayle WOOD.
Is that both Oxford boys on a max?
Yep, Jody and Darryl. So hopefully they can make the trap and work together here. So it is going to be Jody SCOTT, 9 points, red helmet colour off the inside. Connor Cole's 1 point for him. He's going to be in white off of gate 2 for Edinburgh. Darryl RITCHINGS, 3 wins, the same as Jody SCOTT. Blue helmet colour off of gate 3. And then Lee Harrison, 2+2 for him from his 4 rides completed. He's going to be in gate 4 of the yellow helmet colour. So 2 unbeaten Oxford riders in this one. I'd like to think they'll both make the gate work together and see each other home. Doesn't matter if it's a paid max or a full max, a max is a max. And they'll be hoping they can get in front of Connor Coles here, who, while he's been upright, has looked fast and competitive.
Flying out the gates, and he's quick all the way around. He's just, been caught out a couple of times, and unfortunate.
So it's Jamie Lee Sound Enterprises, they sponsor Heat 13 here. The tapes go up, and it's Jody SCOTT off the inside. Connor Coles off of 2 is there with him. Work for Darryl RITCHINGS to do if he wants to retain that max. But I tell you what, Connor Coles is looking to put it round the outside of Jody SCOTT, but Jody just closes that door. Darryl RITCHINGS looking at the inside of Connor Coles. We've got a race on here. Jody SCOTT out front, Connor Coles. Oh, Darryl RITCHINGS stays upright. Is he going to lose 3rd place? No, he doesn't, but that might have put pay to his max.
Yeah, it's Jody just moved out of that little bit of cushion, and he stopped the run of Connor Coles, and it's definitely the fastest line this afternoon. So I'd like to say no catching Jody now.
Yeah, Jody looking really fast as he's done all afternoon. This could be his 4th win of the afternoon here. Connor Coles in 2nd. Darryl RITCHINGS was looking like he was going to push Connor for the entirety of this race, but he just locked up on the previous lap, and that killed his race. He did manage to hold on to 3rd place though, ahead of Lee Harrison, but it's a 4 rides, 4 wins for Jody SCOTT. Connor Coles in 2nd place, Darryl RITCHINGS in 3rd, loses that opportunity of a max, but stayed upright to gain another point, and it is Lee Harrison at the back. So it is another heat advantage for the home side, and it's another win for Jody SCOTT. He's looked untouchable really, hasn't he?
He's a different level in this league, and yeah, you can see there he's just really enjoying his riding, and no, it's just great to see people enjoying being out on their bike. Yeah,
kicking on and really looking good at this level. Jody SCOTT, he takes the win. Connor Coles, he stays upright in that one. He takes that 2nd place. Darryl RITCHINGS 3rd. Looked like he could have pushed Connor all the way, but just locked up, got in a bit of bother, but stayed upright ahead of Lee Harrison to give Oxford a 4-2. So Jamie Lee Sound Enterprises, they sponsored that heat, which takes it to 54-24 to the home side. And Jody SCOTT, he's making the gate and he's looking superb.
Yeah, just tapes the flag.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, he's done that. He's done that all afternoon. Once he got his wheels in line, I just thought Connor might get the run around the outside of him here.
Yeah, he had the speed for it. There was just, again, no room, and that's maybe the home track advantage of those Oxford boys shutting the door.
If Connor had gone a little bit wider there, could he have essentially tried to get that run around Jody, potentially?
I'm not too sure, because, Jody sat right on the dirt line, so it's the shortest way, yet he is getting, full grip out of it. So if Connor went any wider, he's covering more ground for the same amount of grip, and I don't know, because I'm not on the track, but there may be no benefit to that.
Yeah, fantastically put. So we might just see a bit of a delay, because I think Lee Harrison has got 2 on the spin here again. Not the first time this afternoon that he's had that. So we'll just bide our time. It's going to be Ashton VALE. It is Max Broadhurst, that's good. I'm pleased to see. So Senna SUMMERS, unless they put him out in 15, which they might go with Darryl RITCHINGS and Jody SCOTT again. Who knows? I'm not one to say. And Jacob Clouting as well. He's on a max as well. But Max Broadhurst, he gets his 4 rides this afternoon. He's going to be up against Mickie SIMPSON, and Mickey's looked good. Mickey's looked good for the away side.
Yeah, solid guess there. He's obviously after that spill, he's obviously not too affected by it, because he's been performing since.
Yeah, and just an engine failure in that last one put pay to his last heat, but 5 points from his 2 completed rides is a good return. But with 2 races to go this afternoon, 54-24. It's been a relatively straightforward afternoon for the home side. It's been a really difficult and tricky afternoon for the away team. And again, we potentially might see 2 races in this one with Ashton VALE and Mickie SIMPSON, and then Max Broadhurst and Lee Harrison.
Yeah, and so it makes it even more interesting that, you know, Mickey's right on the inside and Ashton's right on the outside. So that's yeah, with those 2 reserves in the middle there, that should give them a bit of an advantage to get to the first corner with them.
Yeah, so the boys are around at tapes. All 4 are there ready to go as we look to complete Heat 14 here. AW Mobs Building Supplies, they sponsor Heat 14, and we've got Mickie SIMPSON 5 points, white helmet colour, he's off of gate number 1. Max Broadhurst, blue helmet colour, 1 point, he's off of gate 2 for Oxford. Lee Harrison 2+2, yellow helmet colour, he's off of gate 3 for Edinburgh. And 5+1, Ashton VALE, red helmet colour, off of gate number 4. Lee Harrison, I think this is going to be his full quota as well. After this one, let's see what Mickie SIMPSON can do off the inside, Ashton VALE off the outside. That could well be the race into the first turn. And then it'll be Max Broadhurst and Lee Harrison battling away for that 3rd place. Tapes go up on Heat 14, and it is inside and outside that get to the first turn first. Mickie SIMPSON, Ashton VALE around the outside. Mickie SIMPSON leads as we go into turn 3 with Ashton VALE in 2nd, and at the moment Max Broadhurst is holding on to that 3rd place from Lee Harrison.
Yeah, he's coming under a bit of pressure there too from Lee, and Mickey's coming under pressure from Ashton. So again, 2 races in 1, but
yeah.
no, plenty of action going on.
Yeah, we got the 2 races in 1 as we predicted it would be, and it's a race out front. Mickie SIMPSON going to lap number 3 with Ashton VALE on his back wheel, and it's Max Broadhurst in 3rd with Lee Harrison on his back wheel. And Max has just got it wrong, and that gives Lee Harrison the opportunity to come up the inside into 3rd place, and again he'll be kicking himself. Mickie SIMPSON, 1 lap to go, he's out front. Ashton VALE 2nd place.
No steel shoe. I can see a steel shoe on the track there. That must that's the problem. Yep.
Yeah, so it is going to be another win for Mickie SIMPSON for the away side. That guarantees his running in Heat 15. Ashton VALE in 2nd place. And Lee Harrison. Was that a bike problem for Max there in?
No, there's a steel shoe stranded on the 4th bend out there. And,
that would do it.
That would have. That's what would have sent Max out wide in bends 1 and 2.
There we go. But I'll tell you what that does give us. That gives us the first heat advantage of the afternoon for the away side. The first 4-2. Mickie SIMPSON with the win. Lee Harrison, he got the 3rd place. Ashton VALE in 2nd. So a 4-2 for Edinburgh. They get their first heat advantage. Well done to them. Which makes 56-28 the progressive score. And yeah, can't do it without a steel shoe. Well, you can, but it's incredibly difficult.
Definitely difficult. No, and unfortunate for Max because it looked like he had that point sealed.
Yeah, he missed the start there, and then he worked hard to get himself up into that 3rd place here with a really smart first turn.
Yeah, it was. You know, just sticking right down low, and again, the shortest way round's the fastest, especially with Lee not sitting on that cushion of dirt. So no, it seems to have settled, and then yeah, Max getting it must be the next lap a bit unstuck.
So yeah, Max losing the steel shoe. We might just capture it here as he comes in.
Yeah,
there you go. You see it fly off there. And, so again, for it to do that, it's probably the strap splitting potentially.
Yeah, there's I've had a lot of trouble with that personally, trying to get it to stay on, but a bit tight there.
Yeah, Ashton just coming across the back.
Never helps, and a track like this too, where you do really have to turn the bike, it's you can get away with it, but it makes it hard.
Yeah, there's the tail from the start. It's pretty even, eh?
Once again, yeah, no, there's the gates have seemed to hold their moisture really well this afternoon, and considering it is very windy, like we've been talking about, and there is still a little bit of sun showing. No, it's good to see that it's nice and even.
Yeah, that's right. And it has been across the board. So it was Oxford that won the toss, and they deferred to 15, so they'll get the pick. So it looks like we're going to see Mickie SIMPSON and Connor Coles. I don't think there's a real surprise there. And again, Connor getting the 2 points in his last one. That's what kind of we've expected to see all afternoon from him.
Yeah, it's No, he'll definitely be frustrated, but that's that set him in good stead for Heat 15 now.
Yeah, and with Mickie Simpson, they'll be looking again just to add to that heat advantage there and just try and get something over on whoever it is for the home side. I can see Jody SCOTT with the red helmet colour on. Jody's going to be coming out. He's going to be going for that big 15. Who will line up alongside him? That's the question at the moment. What can you see? Your eyes are better than mine. They're younger than mine, Luke.
Younger, not always better. I don't want to say. I think it's Darryl.
Yeah, I think it's Darryl RITCHINGS, yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Darryl RITCHINGS and Jody SCOTT. So that's a great race. That's a great lineup for Heat 15. So I just wonder whether Jacob was asked or Senna was asked, do you fancy it? Or they both went, I'll take the max.
You never know, but I mean, Pete's probably understanding that they'll want to hold on to their maximums, and they've got the meeting, you know, sealed early on. So there's no real need for them to go out and I mean, it's not like Darryl and Jody aren't performing anyway. So
no, that's right. But it's not like in football, if you score a hat trick or if you keep a clean sheet as a defender or a goalie, you probably get a bit of a bonus. You don't get a bonus for a max, do you?
No. Nah. Sometimes the mechanic will get a bonus, but that has to be agreed beforehand.
Yeah, just those points on the board. But it has been a brilliant afternoon for Oxford, and again, you can only beat what's on track in front of you, and Edinburgh have had such bad luck this afternoon. But you've still got to make the trap, you've still got to not make mistakes on the bike, and like you say, your mechanic has still got to do the work to get your bike tip-top for every race. Yeah,
that's it. And no, again, we can see Connor there. Unfortunate afternoon, very unfortunate. You know, we've seen him here before, we know what he can do, and it's, unfortunate, you know, so but I'm sure he's set that behind him after that last ride, and hopefully he can have a good one here. Yeah,
just those momentary lapses of concentration has cost him with those two falls. One off of turn 2, one in the apex of 3 and 4. It wouldn't have made any difference to the meeting result. It was always going to swing Oxford's way, but you know, he, from a very personal angle, could have had a pretty decent afternoon.
Yeah, he's come here before and he's done so well. It's unlucky day, but
just a frustrating one for him. Yeah,
a bad day in the office.
So yeah, again, thank you for joining us this afternoon. If you're an Oxford fan, you're going to be very happy. There's been a handful of good races for the neutral, and for Edinburgh, I think you can be very proud of Mark Parker's performance this afternoon. Connor hasn't given up. He could potentially get something out of this Heat 15, and Mickie Simpson has been a terrific guest. And you know, Lee Harrison, he's not tabled many points, but he hasn't given up, and he's been thrown into tough heats.
Very busy.
And been a very busy guy this afternoon. All good stuff. All a learning experience for him. So we're just waiting for Darryl RITCHINGS to come round to tapes. We're waiting for Mickie Simpson to make his way out of the pits. And then we will have a big 15, Heat 15, sponsored by the World Speedway Riders Association. They obviously sponsor this league as well. Great backing at this level of the sport. Paul Carrington's been our referee this afternoon, and he will oversee this big 15 with Jody SCOTT, aiming to go across through the card. Unbeaten, 4 rides, 4 wins so far. He's going to be in the red helmet colour off of gate number 1. Connor Coles, 3 points for him so far. White, gate number 2 for Edinburgh. Darryl RITCHINGS just beaten in that last one, 10 points from his 4 rides. He's going to be blue off of gate number 3. And Mickie Simpson, excellent guest, 8 points from his 5 rides. Only 3 of those rides completed, remember. He's going to be in yellow off of gate number 4. 10 seconds until tape's up. This could be a belting race. Let's see if these boys can give us something to talk about in this last race. Start Marshall walks away, green light on, tapes come up on Heat 15, and it is an even break from the inside 3. Jody SCOTT red, and clever turn back up the inside from Darryl RITCHINGS. Jody lifts a bit, and that potentially did just stop the run of Connor Coles coming down the back straight. Jody SCOTT moves around into the lead from Darryl RITCHINGS. Connor Coles 3rd, and Mickie Simpson finding himself at the back in this one. Oxford head down, 5-1 again.
Yeah, it should be smooth sailing from here, but Connor is quick in 3rd place, and he's putting a bit of pressure on Darryl.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's looking fast. Connor Coles, he's gaining ground on Daryl Richings in certain parts of the lap and then losing it again. But Daryl just seems there to have pulled away a little bit. It's just starting to get a bit dusty, and fair play to the guys doing the track this afternoon, because it's taken to this point for it to get that way. But Jody Scott, he looks like he is going to go from tapes to flag in all 5 of his races this afternoon. Absolutely immaculate, superb 5 race maximum.
Unbelievable.
Looked absolutely terrific this afternoon, Jody Scott. Darryl Richings, he does get that paid second place to only lose in one of his heats. Connor Coles was 3rd, so it does mean that Oxford just tip over that 60-point mark with a 61-29 victory. Mickie Simpson's worked really hard this afternoon, bruising afternoon for him. He wasn't able to land a blow in that last race, so Jody Scott comes round to take the 15-point max. Darryl Richings on the back wheel, just dropping points in his 4th ride. Jody Scott with a win, Darryl Richings 2nd, Connor Coles 3rd, Mickie Simpson 4th. It is a 5-1 to the Oxford Chargers over the Edinburgh Academy in that last heat 15 to give us a progressive score of 61-29, and I think we know what's going to happen here.
The bumps.
Jody is definitely going to get the bumps, and he absolutely deserves them. All the riders out there, you can see all the team giving him the bumps. He absolutely deserves that. Terrific afternoon from him. He's been untouched, no one's got near him. Darryl Richings been superb. Maximums for Jody Scott were Jacob Clouting, and Senna Summers. Will run through the scores in a moment. But that's your final score and one-way traffic.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for the away riders, because it's a long trip too as well. I mean, you know, a different country really. So
that's right. Yeah.
It's they'll want to put this one behind them and just keep looking forward.
It's tough, but that is the nature of it. Sometimes it doesn't go your way. So let's run through top to bottom the scorers. Jody Scott, immaculate, tapes the flag, 5 rides, 15 points for him. Superb performance from the captain. Jacob Clouting, 8+2 for him. Again, 3 rides unbeaten, just dropping points in that 1 ride. Paid 10 for him. Arran Butcher, similar story. 2 great wins. A paid 3rd. 8+1 for his return this afternoon. Ashton VALE, 3 solid 2nd places. And a 3rd, 7+1 for him. Darryl Richings just dropping points in his 4th ride. 12+1. Paid 13, excellent return. Max Broadhurst, he worked really hard. Unfortunately, in a couple of rides, a couple of little mistakes. He picks up a solitary point, but again, it's a very early days in his career. He's still learning as he's going. And it's an excellent maximum for Senna Summers. I tell you, it's going to be really difficult. He's giving rider of the afternoon today. I tell you what, there's a handful of them in there that could get it.
Tricky one.
Yeah, Senna probably very unlucky if he doesn't. And for the away side, Edinburgh, tough afternoon. Connor Coles, 4 points for him. Could have been a different afternoon. Couple of mistakes costing him. Ryan Ingram, he's had a busy afternoon as well. The young man getting a good 2nd place in his last outing. 3 points for him. Mickie Simpson, 3 points in 2 of his rides and a 2nd place as well. 8 points on a bruising afternoon for sure. Dayle WOOD, 2 points from the ride that he didn't complete, where he's got a wrist injury. We wish him all the best. 9 points from 7 rides for Mark Parker, a couple of solid 2nd places in there as well, and he's been pushing all afternoon, even in the rides where he was last and 3rd, he was pushing the riders in front of him. And Lee Harrison, he did take 6 rides in the end to get a paid 5 score line. So your final score this afternoon is 61-29. Luke, thank you very much for joining me. When are we going to see you on track next?
We'll be back here Wednesday.
I will be up in the comms box on Wednesday. I don't expect you to join me. I'll just be talking about you out on track, Luke. So thank you very much for joining me this afternoon, mate.
Cheers.
From Rob and Paul on cam, from Andy producing, directing, myself and Luke, thank you very much for joining us. We hope you've enjoyed the action. A great win for the Oxford Chargers. Edinburgh will learn to go again after this one. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday and your bank holiday Monday. For me and Luke, thanks very much.
See you.
See you.